Imagine waking up one morning, looking in the mirror and realizing that your body has been quietly sending you warning signs for years, but you were too busy to notice them. The stiffness in your knees when you get out of bed, the heavy feeling in your body after meals, the belly that seems harder to lose after 50, the tiredness that shows up even when you slept enough, the brain fog that makes you walk into a room and forget why you came there, the skin that doesn't look as fresh as it once did, the slow recovery after a simple walk, a workout, or even a long day at work. Most men think this is just aging. They think, well, I'm not 30 anymore. This is normal. But what if your body is not just aging? What if it is inflamed? And what if one simple food, something small, sweet, and easy to eat every day, could help your body calm that hidden fire down? Today, I want you to look at blueberries differently, not as a snack, not as decoration on yogurt, not as something you eat once in a while when you remember to be healthy. I want you to see blueberries as a daily signal to your body, a signal that says calm down, repair, protect, circulate, balance, heal. Now, let's be very clear from the beginning. No single food is magic. No fruit can make you young overnight. No berry can erase decades of stress, poor sleep, processed food, and sitting too much. But certain foods do something powerful. They help your body move in the right direction every single day. They give your cells information. And when you give your body the right information often enough, your body can start responding differently. After 50, a man's body changes in ways that many people do not talk about enough. Your metabolism becomes less forgiving. The same plate of food that once gave you energy may now make you feel heavy. The same late night snack that once disappeared without consequence may now show up around your waist. Your blood sugar may rise more easily. Your blood vessels may become less flexible. Your muscles may need more care to stay strong. Your joints may complain more loudly. Your sleep may become lighter. Your memory may not feel as sharp. And inside all of this, there is often one common thread: low-grade inflammation. This kind of inflammation is not the dramatic kind you notice when you cut your hand or twist your ankle. That kind of inflammation is obvious. It becomes red, swollen, warm, painful. It is your body rushing in to repair damage. But the kind we are talking about today is quieter. It is like a small fire burning behind the walls of a house. You may not see the flame at first, but over time, you smell the smoke. You feel the damage. You notice the weakness. You notice the fatigue. You notice your body not bouncing back the way it used to. And that is why blueberries are so interesting. They are tiny, but they are packed with natural plant compounds called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue and purple color. In nature, that color is not there by accident. It protects the plant. And when you eat these compounds, they can support your own protection systems too. They help your body deal with oxidative stress, which is one of the major forces that can make cells age faster. Think of oxidative stress like rust inside the body. When metal rusts, it loses strength. It becomes weaker, rougher, more damaged over time. Your cells are not metal, of course, but they also face daily stress from pollution, poor sleep, fried foods, too much sugar, emotional stress, alcohol, smoking, long sitting, and even normal metabolism. Every day, your body is producing energy, and every day that energy production creates byproducts. If your antioxidant defenses are strong, your body manages this well. But if your defenses are weak, damage can build up. This is where colorful foods matter. The deeper the natural color, the more your body may be getting powerful plant signals. Blueberries are one of the easiest ways to bring that deep color into your daily routine. You do not need to cook them. You do not need a complicated recipe. You do not need an expensive supplement bottle. You can simply add a handful to breakfast, blend them into a smoothie, mix them with plain yogurt, or eat them as an afternoon snack. But the real question is not just, are blueberries healthy? Most people already know they are healthy. The real question is, why should a man after 50 eat them every day? Let's start with the first reason: circulation. After 50, your blood vessels matter more than ever. Your heart, brain, muscles, and organs all depend on healthy blood flow. When blood vessels are flexible, blood moves smoothly. Oxygen reaches the brain, nutrients reach the muscles, waste products get carried away. But when blood vessels become stiff, irritated, or damaged, the whole body feels it. Energy drops, recovery slows, pressure rises. The brain may feel cloudy, the legs may feel heavier, the heart has to work harder. Blueberries support vascular health because their polyphenols may help the inner lining of your blood vessels function better. That inner lining is called the endothelium. You can think of it like the smooth highway surface inside your arteries. When that surface is healthy, traffic flows. When that surface is inflamed or damaged, traffic slows down. Blueberries help support the environment that keeps that highway smoother. Now, imagine a man in his 50s. He wakes up, drinks coffee, skips breakfast, sits in traffic, works for hours, eats something quick, sits again, comes home tired, eats a heavy dinner, watches TV, sleeps late, and repeats the same cycle. He may not feel sick, but inside his body may be under pressure all day. Blood sugar rises and falls. Stress hormones stay high. Muscles are underused. Digestion slows. Inflammation increases. And because these changes happen slowly, he does not panic. He adjusts. He says, "This is just life." But your body does not need panic to change. It needs consistency. One of the most powerful things you can do after 50 is stop looking for extreme solutions and start building daily signals of health. Blueberries are one of those signals. When you eat blueberries in the morning, especially with a balanced breakfast, you are not just adding sweetness, you are adding fiber, you are adding water, you are adding polyphenols, you are adding a food that can help support blood sugar balance better than a processed sweet snack would. This matters because after 50, blood sugar control becomes one of the biggest hidden challenges for many men. You may notice it as uh, sleepiness after lunch. Uh, you may notice cravings at night. You may notice belly fat that does not move. You may notice mood swings. You may notice waking up tired even after a full night. Blood sugar instability can affect energy, weight, focus, and long-term health. Blueberries are naturally sweet, but they come wrapped in fiber and plant compounds. That is very different from a cookie. candy, or sweet drink. Nature packages sugar differently. In blueberries, the sweetness comes with protection. Here is a simple timing tip. If you want the most benefit, do not eat blueberries alone with a sugary breakfast. Pair them with protein, healthy fat, or fiber. Add them to plain Greek yogurt, oats, chia seeds, walnuts, or a smoothie with protein. This helps slow digestion and gives you steadier energy. For many men after 50, this is a game changer because the goal is not just to eat healthy food. The goal is to eat healthy food in a way that works with your body. Imagine eating a bowl of sweet cereal with milk and a glass of juice. You may feel good for a short time, but then the crash comes. Now imagine plain yogurt, blueberries, ground flaxseed, and a few walnuts. That meal sends a very different message. It says steady energy, healthy fats, fiber, plant compounds, less chaos. Over time, those messages matter. The second reason blueberries matter after 50 is brain health. Many men worry quietly about memory. They may joke about forgetting names or misplacing keys, but deep down, they know the brain is precious. The brain is not separate from the rest of the body. It depends on blood flow. It depends on healthy metabolism. It depends on low inflammation. It depends on sleep. It depends on nutrients. Blueberries have been studied for their relationship with cognitive function and aging because their plant compounds may help protect brain cells from oxidative stress and support communication between cells. Again, this does not mean blueberries are a cure. It means they are part of a lifestyle that gives your brain better conditions. Brain after 50 needs those conditions. Think about how much stress the average man carries: bills, work, family pressure, health worries, aging parents, grown children, business concerns, maybe regret, maybe loneliness, maybe the feeling that time is moving faster. Stress itself can become inflammatory. When stress stays high, sleep suffers. When sleep suffers, cravings rise. When cravings rise, food choices get worse. When food choices get worse, inflammation rises again. It becomes a cycle. A handful of blueberries will not solve emotional stress, but the routine around them can become a daily anchor. You wake up, you drink water, you walk for 10 minutes, you eat a breakfast that includes blueberries and protein, you get morning light. You start your day with intention instead of chaos. That is how health changes. Not from one dramatic moment, but from small repeated moments that tell your body, we are safe, we are rebuilding. The third reason is muscle recovery. After 50, muscle is not just about looking strong. Muscle is protection. Muscle helps manage blood sugar. Muscle supports balance. Muscle protects joints. Muscle keeps you independent. Muscle helps you burn energy. But after 50, muscles can shrink if you do not use them. And if inflammation is high, recovery becomes slower. Many men make one of two mistakes. Some stop training completely because they think exercise is only for younger people. Others try to train like they are still 25 and then get injured, sore, and discouraged. The smarter approach is consistent movement, strength training 2 or 3 times a week, walking daily, stretching gently, and eating foods that support recovery. Blueberries fit into that recovery lifestyle because they help fight oxidative stress created by hard activity. After exercise, your body needs repair. That repair process is normal. A little stress from exercise is good because it tells the body to adapt. But too much stress, too little sleep, poor nutrition, and chronic inflammation can make recovery harder. Blueberries can be part of your post-workout meal, especially when combined with protein. A smoothie with blueberries, plain yogurt, and a small handful of nuts can be simple, filling, and supportive. But remember this, timing matters too. If you exercise in the morning, blueberries can go into your breakfast after movement. Uh, if you exercise in the afternoon, blueberries can be part of a recovery snack. If you walk after dinner, you can keep blueberries earlier in the day to avoid late night overeating. The best time is the time you can repeat consistently without turning it into a complicated rule. Now, let's talk about the gut. Many men after 50 underestimate the gut. They think digestion is only about the stomach, but the gut is connected to inflammation, immunity, metabolism, and even mood. Your gut contains trillions of microbes. Some of them help you. Some of them can cause problems when the balance is wrong. Fiber-rich plant foods feed the helpful microbes. Blueberries contain fiber and polyphenols that can support a healthier gut environment. This matters because inflammation often begins where your body meets the outside world, and your gut is one of the biggest meeting places. Every meal is information, every meal is contact. If your diet is mostly processed foods, fried foods, low fiber, and high sugar, your gut receives a very different message than if your diet includes berries, greens, beans, nuts, seeds, herbs, and clean proteins. After 50, digestion can slow down. Some men feel bloated more easily. Some become more sensitive to heavy meals. Some eat too late and wake up with discomfort. Blueberries are gentle for many people, easy to add, and high in water. They can satisfy the desire for something sweet without pushing you toward processed desserts. That one change alone can help many men reduce extra sugar in their diet. Think of the evening routine. A man finishes dinner and wants something sweet. This is where many diets fall apart. He is not truly hungry. He is tired. His brain wants comfort. He reaches for cookies, ice cream, or sweet tea. Do that once, no problem. Do that every night for years, and the body changes. But what if the sweet option becomes a small bowl of blueberries with plain yogurt and cinnamon? Now the habit is still satisfying, but the message is different. Less added sugar, more fiber, more polyphenols, more control. Now, let's talk about skin and aging. When people hear the phrase reverse aging, they often think about wrinkles first. But aging is not only on the skin, aging is in the blood vessels, aging is in the mitochondria, aging is in the immune system, aging is in the muscles, aging is in the brain, aging is in the way your body handles stress. The skin is just the mirror. Blueberries support healthy aging because they help reduce oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is one of the forces that can make tissues age faster. Uh, Vitamin C also supports normal collagen formation, and collagen is important for skin, blood vessels, and connective tissue. But do not think of blueberries as a beauty trick. Think of them as a cellular support food. They are not covering up aging from the outside. They are feeding your defense systems from the inside. Here's where many men get it wrong. They spend money on products, powders, and complicated routines, but their breakfast is still damaging them. They worry about looking older, but they sleep 5 hours. They want energy, but they never walk. They want less belly fat, but they eat late and snack under stress. They want better blood pressure, but their diet is low in potassium rich plants and high in salty processed foods. The body does not respond to wishes, it responds to patterns. Blueberries are not powerful because they are rare. They are powerful because they are easy to repeat. And repetition is what changes biology. Let me give you a simple picture. Imagine two men, both 55. The first man says, I'll start taking care of myself when something goes wrong. He waits. He ignores stiffness. He ignores fatigue. He ignores rising waist size. He ignores the afternoon crash. He ignores the fact that he gets breathless faster than before. He eats whatever is convenient. He sleeps whenever he can. He only thinks about health when fear appears. The second man says, I'm not waiting for a diagnosis to respect my body. He does not become perfect. He still enjoys life. He still has busy days. But every morning, he gives his body a better start. He eats protein. He adds blueberries. He walks. He drinks water. He gets sunlight. He lifts weights 2 or 3 times a week. He stops eating heavy meals late at night. He treats sleep like medicine. He does not chase youth. He protects function. 5 years later, these two men may look very different. Not because one found a secret miracle, but because one repeated small protective choices while the other repeated small damaging choices. This is the truth about aging. It is not only the years, it is what the years are made of. Now, how much should you eat? For most people, a simple target is half a cup to 1 cup of blueberries per day. Fresh or frozen, both work. Frozen blueberries are often picked at peak ripeness, and they are convenient because they do not spoil quickly. If fresh blueberries are expensive or not available, use frozen. Add them to oats, yogurt, smoothies, or eat them as a snack. Keep it simple. The more complicated you make the habit, the less likely you are to repeat it. But do not cover blueberries with sugar and call it health. Not turn them into a dessert loaded with sweet syrup and think you are getting the same benefit. The goal is to let the food stay close to its natural form. Blueberries with plain yogurt, good. Blueberries with oats and cinnamon, good. Blueberries in a smoothie with protein and greens, good. Blueberries on top of a sugar-heavy pastry, not the same thing. And if you are watching your blood sugar, be smart. Portion matters, pairing matters. A cup of blueberries is very different from a large fruit smoothie loaded with juice, honey, and multiple bananas. Many men think smoothies are automatically healthy, but some smoothies are basically dessert in a glass. The better method is simple: blueberries, unsweetened yogurt or protein, a little chia or flax, water or unsweetened milk, maybe spinach, and no added sugar. That gives you sweetness without overload. Now, let's connect this to inflammation in a way that is easy to understand. Uh, Inflammation rises when the body feels threatened. Sometimes the threat is infection, sometimes it is injury, but sometimes the threat is lifestyle. Too much processed food, too little sleep, too much stress, not enough movement, too much belly fat, too much alcohol, too much sitting, too many late nights. Your immune system starts acting like danger is always present. And when danger feels constant, repair becomes harder. Uh, Blueberries help because they are part of an anti-inflammatory pattern. They are not working alone. They work best when your entire day supports them. That means eating more colorful plants, getting enough protein, moving your muscles, sleeping deeply, managing stress, drinking water, getting morning light, taking breaks from sitting, reducing foods that keep the fire burning. If you eat blueberries every morning, um, but spend the rest of the day eating fried foods, sweet drinks, and processed snacks, do not expect a miracle. Blueberries become the first step in a bigger pattern. They can be powerful. Sometimes one food changes more than your nutrition. It changes your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who takes care of his body. And once that identity changes, your other choices begin to follow. This is why I like the idea of eating blueberries early in the day. Morning habits are identity habits. The first meal often sets the tone. When you start with something clean, colorful, and intentional, you are more likely to make better choices later. You may still have a busy day, but you have already given your body a win. Try this simple routine. Wake up and drink a glass of water. Get a few minutes of natural light. Take a short walk, even if it is only 10 minutes. Then eat a breakfast that includes blueberries, protein, and fiber. This could be plain Greek yogurt with blueberries and walnuts, or oatmeal with blueberries and cinnamon, or eggs with a side of berries and avocado, or a smoothie made carefully without added sugar. This is not a diet. This is a foundation. For men after 50, timing also matters at night. Eating too late can interfere with sleep, digestion, and blood sugar. If you want blueberries in the evening, keep it light and not too close to bedtime. Give your body time to digest. A small bowl after dinner is very different from eating a large, heavy dessert right before sleep. Sleep is when your body repairs. Do not make your body fight digestion all night when it should be restoring you. Now, let's talk about energy. Many men after 50 think energy comes from caffeine. They drink more coffee, more tea, more stimulants. But real energy comes from healthy mitochondria, balanced blood sugar, good sleep, movement, hydration, and circulation. Blueberries support this system indirectly by helping reduce oxidative stress and supporting blood vessel function. But again, they are part of a larger rhythm. If you feel tired every day, do not just ask, what supplement should I take? Ask better questions. Did I sleep enough? Did I move today? Did I eat protein? Did I eat plants? Did I drink water? Did I sit too long? Did I eat too much late at night? Did I give my body a reason to produce energy? Blueberries are a daily reminder to ask those questions. One of the biggest challenges for men after 50 is that the body becomes less forgiving, but the mind often stays in denial. You may still feel young inside. You may still think you can get away with the same habits, but the body is keeping score. It keeps score of late nights. It keeps score of skipped movement. It keeps score of stress. It keeps score of what you eat when no one is watching. And it also keeps score of the good things. Every walk counts. Every healthy meal counts. Every night of better sleep counts. Every handful of blueberries counts. Do not underestimate small things repeated daily. Now, some people may ask, why blueberries and not another berry? The truth is, many berries are excellent. Strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, and cherries can all be part of a healthy diet. But blueberries are special because they are widely available, easy to eat, rich in anthocyanins, and studied for multiple areas of health, including inflammation, circulation, metabolism, and brain function. They are also practical. A food only helps if you can actually eat it regularly. Health is not only about what is ideal, it is about what is repeatable. Let's make this practical. Keep blueberries visible. If they are fresh, wash them only when you are ready to eat so they last longer. If they are frozen, keep a bag in the freezer at all times. When you make breakfast, add them automatically. Do not wait for motivation. Build the environment so the healthy choice is easy. Put the yogurt in the front of the fridge. Keep oats in a clear container. Keep nuts and seeds ready. Make the routine so simple that even on a busy morning, you can do it. Because after 50, the worst health plan is the one that requires perfect discipline. Do not need perfect discipline. You need good systems. And here is another important point. Chew your food. Slow down. Many men eat fast. They eat standing up. They eat while watching something. They eat while thinking about work. Digestion begins before food reaches the stomach. Uh, when you slow down, your body handles food better. You feel satisfied sooner. You enjoy the taste. You become aware of your hunger. Blueberries are a good food to practice this with. Eat them slowly. Notice the sweetness. Notice the color. Let your body receive the meal. This may sound simple, but simple is not weak. Simple is powerful when it is repeated. Now, bring this back uh, to inflammation. The body after 50 does not need more punishment. It does not need extreme fasting one day and overeating the next. It does not need dangerous workouts followed by weeks of pain. It does not need shame. It needs rhythm. It needs nourishment. It needs movement. It needs recovery. It needs signals that tell inflammation you do not need to stay high all the time. Blueberries are one of those signals. Picture inflammation like a volume knob. In some people, that knob is turned up all day. Stress turns it up. Processed food turns it up. Poor sleep turns it up. Belly fat turns it up. Sitting turns it up. Much sugar turns it up. But then certain choices turn it down. Walking turns it down. Sleep turns it down. Strength training turns it down. Deep breathing turns it down. Fiber-rich foods turn it down. Colorful plants turn it down. Blueberries help turn it down. This is not about living forever. This is about living better. It is about waking up with less stiffness, thinking more clearly, having steadier energy, moving with confidence, keeping your heart and brain supported, reducing the hidden pressure your body has been carrying, feeling like you are participating in your own health instead of waiting for problems. For many men, the hardest part is starting, not because they do not care, but because they feel overwhelmed. There are too many diets, too many supplements, too many opinions. One person says avoid fruit. Another says eat only plants. Another says eat high protein. Another says fast all day. Another says count. every calorie. And after a while, men get tired and do nothing. So start here. 1 cup of blueberries a day, not as a miracle, as a promise that every day you will give your body at least one food that supports repair instead of damage, one food that brings color instead of chemicals, one food that helps satisfy sweetness without added sugar, one food that supports your blood vessels, your gut, your brain, and your aging cells, then build around it. Add movement. Even a 10-minute walk after meals can support blood sugar and digestion. Add strength training, even if it starts with body weight squats, wall push ups, and light dumbbells. Add sleep discipline by turning screens off earlier and keeping the room cool and dark. Add protein at breakfast so your muscles have building blocks. Add water before coffee. Add more vegetables at lunch and dinner. Reduce late night snacking. Reduce processed meats and fried foods. Reduce sweet drinks. Increase real food. Blueberries are the doorway, not the whole house. And if you are a man over 50 watching this right now, I want you to hear this clearly. It is not too late. Your body is not broken. Your body is adaptive. It listens. It responds. It changes. Maybe not as fast as it did at 25, but it still changes. The cells in your body are constantly reacting to what you do. Every meal is a message. Every walk is a message. Every night of sleep is a message. Every stressful thought is a message. Every calm breath is a message. So, what message are you sending? If breakfast is rushed, sugary, and empty, the message is chaos. If breakfast is colorful, balanced, and steady, the message is repair. If your day is sitting, stress, and late night eating, the message is pressure. If your day includes movement, hydration, and real food, the message is resilience. Blueberries are small, but they can be the beginning of a big conversation uh, with your body. Now, there is something beautiful about this food that people miss. Blueberries do not require you to suffer. They are not bitter medicine. They are not a punishment. They are sweet, simple, and enjoyable. Health does not always have to feel like discipline. Sometimes health can taste good. Sometimes the thing that supports your body can also satisfy you. That matters because the habits that last are the habits you do not hate. If you want to eat blueberries every day, make them enjoyable. Add cinnamon, add them to warm oats so they burst slightly and turn the bowl purple. Mix them into yogurt so every spoon has sweetness. Blend them into a thick smoothie. Put frozen blueberries in a small bowl and let them soften for a few minutes until they become almost like a cold dessert. Keep it simple and make it something you look forward to. But do not use blueberries as an excuse to ignore the rest. A healthy food added to an unhealthy lifestyle gives limited results. A healthy food added to a healthy pattern becomes powerful. This is the principle that changes everything after 50. You stop chasing single solutions and start building a system. Blueberries for inflammation, protein for muscle, walking for blood sugar, strength training for independence, sleep for repair, hydration for energy, sunlight for rhythm, calm breathing for stress, real meals for metabolism, less late night eating for recovery. This is how you age with strength. And notice something. None of this requires perfection. And two, you can start today. You can start with the next meal. You can start by buying blueberries and making them part of breakfast tomorrow. You can start by walking after lunch. You can start by going to bed 30 minutes earlier. You can start by replacing one processed snack with a real food snack. The body does not need you to become perfect. It needs you to become consistent. Now, before we go deeper in the next part, I want you to remember the main idea. Blueberries are not just a fruit. They are a daily anti-inflammatory signal. They carry anthocyanins that give them their deep color. They support antioxidant defenses. They help protect blood vessels. They support gut health through fiber. They fit into blood sugar friendly meals when paired properly. They can support brain health as part of a healthy aging lifestyle. And they are easy enough to eat every day. That is what makes them powerful too. Because the best food for healthy aging is not only the food with the most impressive science, it is the food you can actually make part of your life. Tomorrow morning, do not overthink it. Take a handful of blueberries, put them on your breakfast, eat them slowly. And as you do, to remember that you are not just eating for taste, you are eating for your blood vessels, you are eating for your brain, you are eating for your gut, or eating for your muscles. You are eating for the man you want to be 5 years from now. Um, Aging is not only about what time does to you, it is also about what you do with time. And every day, with one small bowl of blueberries, you can start giving your body a better signal. But here is the part most men miss. Inflammation does not always feel like pain. Sometimes it feels like tiredness. Sometimes it feels like heaviness after a meal. Sometimes it feels like waking up with stiff hands, tight shoulders, or knees that need a few minutes before they feel normal. Sometimes it feels like your body is moving slower than your mind wants it to move. And sometimes it feels like looking in the mirror and wondering, why do I look older than I feel? This is where blueberries become more than a healthy fruit. They become a daily choice against the slow pressure that builds inside the body after 50. Because after 50, your body is not only dealing with age, it is dealing with history, years of rushed meals, years of stress, years of sitting too much, years of sleeping too little, years of eating late, years of thinking you could fix everything later. And the body is patient, but it is not silent. It starts whispering. Then it starts speaking louder. And if we still ignore it, it begins to shout. The beautiful thing is this: the body also responds when you finally start listening. When you add blueberries every day, you are giving your body something it recognizes as useful: fiber, water, natural sweetness, deep blue plant compounds, antioxidant support. A signal that says, we are not just feeding hunger today, we are feeding repair. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges men face after 50: belly fat. Not because of appearance, not because of vanity, but because belly fat can become biologically active. It can send inflammatory signals. It can interfere with how your body handles blood sugar. It can put pressure on your heart, your joints, your energy, and your confidence. Many men look at belly fat and think it is just stored calories. But the body is more complex than that. Belly fat is not just sitting there. It can become part of the inflammation cycle. And this is why food quality matters so much. Because You cannot outsmart inflammation with only willpower. You cannot punish it away. You cannot simply starve yourself and expect your body to feel safe. Many men try extreme diets after 50. They skip meals, drink coffee all day, eat almost nothing, then become extremely hungry at night and eat too much. The next morning they feel guilty, so they repeat the same pattern. This is not discipline. This is chaos. Your body does not heal in chaos. It heals in rhythm. Blueberries can help create that rhythm because they fit into a realistic daily routine. They are not heavy. They are not complicated. They do not require cooking skills. They can satisfy sweetness without taking you into the world of processed snacks. For a man after 50, reducing processed sweetness is one of the fastest ways to start lowering the daily stress on the body. Think about the average sweet food: cookies, cakes, sweetened cereals, pastries, sugary drinks. These foods do not only bring sugar, they often bring refined flour, unhealthy fats, low fiber, and fast digestion. The body absorbs them quickly. Blood sugar rises, energy spikes, then energy crashes, hunger returns, cravings become stronger. The cycle continues. Over time, this can contribute to belly fat, fatigue, and inflammation. Now compare that with blueberries. They are sweet, but they come with fiber. They are colorful, but the color is not artificial. They contain anthocyanins, the natural compounds that give them their deep blue-purple pigment. They feel like a treat, the whole food. That is the difference between feeding a craving and feeding your body. Here is a simple way to understand it. Processed sweets shout at your body. Blueberries speak to your body. Processed sweets create a loud rush. Blueberries create a calmer signal. And after 50, calm signals matter. Now, timing is important. If you eat blueberries at the wrong time, they are still healthy, but you may not get the same steady energy benefit. The best time for many men is earlier in the day with breakfast or lunch, especially when paired with protein and healthy fat. A bowl of blueberries by itself is good, but blueberries with plain yogurt, oats, nuts, chia seeds, eggs, or a protein-rich meal can be even better for steady energy. The reason is simple. After 50, your body often becomes less efficient at handling fast carbohydrates. That does not mean fruit is bad. It means fruit works best when you respect the whole meal. Blueberries are not the problem. The problem is eating them in a meal that is already overloaded with sugar. If you put blueberries on a sugary cereal with sweetened yogurt and then drink juice, you have turned a healthy food into part of a sugar-heavy breakfast. But if you add blueberries to plain yogurt with walnuts and cinnamon, now you have a breakfast that gives your body a much calmer start. This is where many people get confused. They ask, is this food good or bad? But the better question is, what is this food replacing? If blueberries replace candy at night, that is powerful. If blueberries replace syrup on breakfast, that is powerful. If blueberries replace a sweet drink, that is powerful. If blueberries become part of a breakfast that keeps you full for hours, that is powerful. The power is not only in the berry, the power is in the pattern. Let's imagine a normal morning. You wake up tired. You reach for coffee before water. You check your phone before sunlight. You skip breakfast because you are busy. By late morning, your body is running on stress and caffeine. Then lunch comes and you are hungry enough to choose whatever is fast. After lunch, you feel sleepy. In the afternoon, you need another coffee or something sweet. By evening, your body wants comfort. Then dinner becomes heavy. Then sleep becomes poor. And the next morning, the cycle begins again. Now imagine another morning. You wake up, drink water, step into natural light for a few minutes, um, move your body gently, then eat a bowl of plain yogurt with blueberries, walnuts, and cinnamon, or oats with blueberries and ground flaxseed, or a simple smoothie with blueberries, unsweetened yogurt, and protein. You are not trying to become perfect. You are simply giving your body stability early in the day. That one change can influence the rest of the day. Better breakfast can mean fewer cravings. Fewer cravings can mean fewer processed snacks. Fewer processed snacks can mean less blood sugar chaos. Less blood sugar chaos can mean more energy. More energy can mean more movement. More movement can mean better sleep. Better sleep can mean lower hunger the next day. And two, this is how one food can open the door to a bigger transformation. And this is why I want you to stop thinking of blueberries as a small snack. Think of them as the first domino. After 50, men often need to rebuild trust with their own bodies. Maybe your body has disappointed you. Maybe you used to be stronger. Maybe you used to recover faster. Maybe you used to eat anything and feel fine. Maybe you used to sleep deeply and wake up ready. Now, things feel different, but your body is not betraying you. It is adapting to the conditions you have been giving it. Change the conditions, and the body can begin to respond. One of the most important conditions is blood sugar stability. When blood sugar rises too high too often, the body has to work harder. When it crashes too low, cravings and fatigue can take over. This up and down pattern can make you feel older than you are. It can affect focus. It can affect mood. It can affect hunger. It can affect how much fat your body stores. And over time, it can feed inflammation. Blueberries are useful because they provide sweetness in a more controlled package. They are not a free pass to eat unlimited fruit, but they are a smart fruit choice. They give you flavor, fiber, and plant compounds without the same impact as processed sweets. For many men, this is the difference between fighting cravings and redirecting cravings. Let me give you a real life example. You finish dinner, you want something sweet. You, you tell yourself, I'll just have a little, but a little becomes more. Then you go to bed full and uncomfortable. Your sleep suffers. The next day, you wake up tired. Because you are tired, you crave more sugar. Because you crave more sugar, you eat more of the same foods. This is not weakness. This is biology. Sleep, hunger, blood sugar, and cravings are connected. Now, replace that evening habit with a small bowl of blueberries and plain yogurt, maybe with cinnamon. You still get sweetness, you still get comfort, but the signal changes. You are not overloading the body, you are giving it something useful. Over weeks and months, these small swaps add up. But there is another layer here. Blueberries also support the gut, and the gut is one of the most overlooked parts of healthy aging. Many men only think about digestion when something goes wrong. Bloating, constipation, reflux, discomfort, heavy stomach. But your gut is doing much more than digesting food. It is interacting with your immune system every day. A large part of your immune activity is connected to the gut. The gut also communicates with the brain, affects metabolism, and influences inflammation. When you eat fiber rich plant foods, you are not only feeding yourself, you are feeding helpful gut microbes. These microbes can produce compounds that support the gut lining and help regulate inflammation. Blueberries contain fiber and polyphenols that may support this environment. Again, this is not magic, it is biology. The gut responds to what you repeatedly feed it. If the gut receives processed food all day, low fiber, high sugar, and heavy late meals, the gut environment changes. If the gut receives berries, greens, beans, seeds, nuts, clean proteins, and enough water, the environment changes in a different direction. Your gut is like a garden. Whatever you plant repeatedly will grow. Blueberries are one of the easiest seeds to plant in that garden. Now, there is something important about frozen blueberries. Many men think fresh is always better. Fresh blueberries are great, but frozen blueberries are also an excellent choice. They are convenient, affordable in many places, and easy to store. If you keep frozen blueberries in your freezer, you remove excuses. You do not have to worry about them spoiling in 2 days. You do not have to run to the store every morning. You can add them to oats, smoothies, or yogurt anytime. The easier a healthy habit becomes, the more likely it becomes your identity. And identity is everything after 50, because most men do not fail because they lack information. They fail because their habits still belong to the old version of them, the younger version who could sleep less, the younger version who could eat more, the younger version who could sit for hours and still feel fine, the younger version who recovered quickly. But after 50, you need a new identity, not an old man identity, a stronger identity, a wiser identity. A man who protects his health before it is forced on him. That is what this daily blueberry habit can represent. It is a symbol that you are no longer waiting for a problem to become serious. You are choosing prevention. You are choosing repair. You are choosing strength. Now let's talk about inflammation and joints. Many men after 50 wake up with stiffness. Maybe the back feels tight. Maybe the knees feel sensitive. Maybe the shoulders feel heavy. Uh, some of this comes from wear and tear. Some comes from lack of movement. Some comes from body weight. Some comes from sleep position. But inflammation can make everything feel worse. The body loves movement. Joints are not made to stay still all day. When you sit for long hours, fluid movement decreases, muscles tighten, circulation slows, and stiffness increases. Then, when you stand up, the body feels old. But sometimes you are not old, you are undermoved. And when undermovement combines with inflammatory eating, the body starts to feel trapped. This is why blueberries should not be eaten as a replacement for movement. They should be eaten as part of a movement lifestyle. Eat blueberries, then walk. Eat a balanced breakfast, then move. Use the plant compounds, fiber, and nutrients, but also use your muscles. Your body was built for circulation, and circulation improves when you move. A simple habit is walking after meals. You do not need to make it dramatic. 10 minutes after breakfast or dinner can help your body use glucose better, and support digestion. After 50, these short walks can be more powerful than people realize. You do not need to destroy yourself in the gym to improve your health. You need repeatable movement. Walking is repeatable. Strength training is repeatable when done wisely. Stretching is repeatable. Consistency beats intensity when intensity keeps making you quit. Here is a practical rhythm. Eat a breakfast with blueberries and protein. Walk for 10 minutes. Later in the day, do some light strength training 2 or 3 times a week. Keep your meals mostly real food. Stop eating very late. Sleep like it matters. This is not complicated, but it is powerful. Now, some men hear this and think, that sounds too simple. But simple is exactly what works. The body does not need complexity. It needs the right signals repeated. Let's go deeper into the aging process. Aging is not just wrinkles. Aging is loss of function, loss of energy, loss of muscle, loss of flexibility, loss of clear thinking, loss of resilience. When people say they want to reverse aging, what they often mean is they want to reverse the feeling of decline. They want to feel lighter, clearer, stronger, and more alive. They want their body to respond again. Blueberries support healthy aging because they help defend against oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like sparks hitting delicate surfaces inside the body. A few sparks are normal. The body can handle them. But when sparks keep flying every day from poor food, stress, pollution, lack of sleep, and high blood sugar, the damage can build. Antioxidant-rich foods help support the body's defense systems. But here is the twist. You do not want to only throw antioxidants at a body that is still producing too much stress. You also want to reduce the sources of stress. That means blueberries plus better sleep, blueberries plus walking, blueberries plus less processed food, blueberries plus a calmer evening routine, blueberries plus more strength in the muscles, blueberries plus better hydration. That is when the body receives a clear message. After 50, the body listens to your lifestyle as a whole. Now, let's talk about the brain again, because this is one of the most important reasons to care about blueberries. Many men are not afraid of aging skin as much as they are afraid of losing sharpness. They want to think clearly. They want to remember. They want to stay focused. They want to keep making decisions. They want to feel mentally present. The brain is hungry for blood flow. It needs oxygen. It needs nutrients. It needs stable blood sugar. It needs sleep. It needs low inflammation. It needs stimulation. Blueberries may support brain health because their compounds are connected to blood vessel function, oxidative stress defense, and cellular communication. But the brain also needs movement. A walk is not only for the legs, it is for the brain. Strength training is not only for the arms, it is for metabolism. Sleep is not only rest, it is brain cleaning and repair. So if you eat blueberries while continuing to sleep poorly, your brain will not get the full benefit. But if blueberries become part of a brain supporting lifestyle, the effect becomes much more meaningful. Trade this routine for brain energy, morning light, hydration, blueberries with protein, a short walk, deep work when your mind is fresh, less scrolling early in the day, more real conversation, more reading, more learning, more movement. This is how the brain stays engaged. Blueberries are one piece of that puzzle. Now let's talk about timing around exercise. If you train in the morning, blueberries can be a beautiful post-movement food. You can add them to yogurt or a smoothie with protein. This gives your body carbohydrates for recovery, plant compounds for defense, and protein for muscles. If you train later in the day, blueberries can be part of a pre-workout snack with something balanced or part of recovery afterward. But do not overcomplicate this. The best timing is the timing you can repeat. A lot of men fail because they chase perfect timing. Perfect timing of meals, perfect timing of supplements, perfect workout schedule, perfect fasting window, perfect routine. But perfection is fragile. Life breaks it. Consistency is stronger. So place blueberries where they naturally fit. Breakfast is easiest for most people. Lunch works too. A small evening portion can work if it helps replace processed dessert. Just do not turn it into a sugar-heavy meal. And if you are dealing with diabetes, kidney issues, medication concerns, or a specific health condition, you should talk with your healthcare professional about your diet. Food is powerful, and your personal situation matters. But for many people, blueberries can fit beautifully into a healthy eating pattern. Now, let's look at what happens when you build this habit for 21 days. In the first few days, you may simply feel good about making a cleaner choice. You may notice the meal feels fresher. You may enjoy the sweetness. You may feel less guilty about breakfast. After a week, if you are pairing blueberries with protein and reducing processed snacks, you may notice steadier energy. After 2 weeks, if you are also walking and drinking more water, digestion may feel more regular. After 3 weeks, the habit may begin to feel normal, and that is the real victory, not a miracle result. A new normal. Your body changes when healthy becomes normal. The mistake is expecting one food to do the job of an entire lifestyle. The wisdom is using one food to begin an entire lifestyle. Blueberries are a great starting point because they are easy. But once you master that, build the plate around them. At breakfast, think protein first. Eggs, plain yogurt, cottage style options if they fit your diet, or a clean protein smoothie. Then fiber, oats, chia, flax, or whole plant foods. Then healthy fats, walnuts, almonds, avocado, or seeds. Then blueberries for color and polyphenols. That meal is not just breakfast. It is a metabolic message. At lunch, think simple. Protein, vegetables, healthy fats, and slow carbohydrates if you need them. At dinner, think lighter than lunch if late eating affects your sleep. Keep dessert simple. If you want something sweet, blueberries can help. And if you are hungry at night every night, ask why. Did you skip protein earlier? Did you eat too little during the day? Did you sleep badly? Are you stressed? Are you using food for comfort? Awareness changes habits. Now, let's talk about one hidden enemy after 50, chronic stress. Men often carry stress silently. They do not always talk about it. They push through. They say, I'm fine, but the body knows. Stress can raise cravings. Stress can tighten muscles. Stress can disturb sleep. Stress can increase inflammation. Stress can make the belly harder to lose. Stress can make you eat fast, breathe shallow, and live in survival mode. Blueberries will not remove your responsibilities, but they can be part of a morning ritual that takes you out of survival mode. You sit down, eat slowly, you breathe, you start the day with one healthy choice. That small act can create a sense of control, and control matters. When a man feels out of control, he often stops caring. When he feels even a little control, he starts rebuilding. So do not just eat blueberries. Use them as a ritual, a reminder, a moment. When you put them in your bowl, remind yourself, today I am lowering the fire. Today I am feeding repair. Today I am not waiting for my body to break before I take care of it. That sentence may sound simple, but it can change your day. Now, what about inflammation from bad oils, fried food, and processed meals? This matters because you cannot add blueberries on top of a daily inflammatory diet and expect full results. If you are eating fried fast food most days, drinking sweet drinks, and snacking on processed foods at night, blueberries are still good, but they are fighting an uphill battle. So use blueberries as the first change, then remove one inflammatory habit at a time. Do not try to fix everything in 1 week. That usually fails. Start by replacing one processed sweet with blueberries. Then replace one sweet drink with water or unsweetened tea. Then replace one late night heavy snack with a lighter option. Then add a 10-minute walk after one meal. Then add 2 strength sessions a week. Build slowly. Let your confidence grow, because confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. Most men do not need more shame. They need more proof that they can change. Every time you follow through, you create proof. Every time you choose the better breakfast, proof. Every time you walk after dinner, proof. Every time you sleep earlier, proof. Every time you eat blueberries instead of processed dessert, proof. And over time, that proof becomes identity. Now, let's speak directly to the man who says, I have tried before and failed. Maybe you started a diet and stopped. Maybe you joined a gym and quit. Maybe you bought supplements and forgot them. Maybe you lost weight and gained it back. That does not mean you cannot change. It means your system was not built for real life. Real life system must be simple, flexible, and repeatable. Blueberries are simple. Walking is simple. Drinking water is simple. Eating protein at breakfast is simple. Turning off screens earlier is simple. None of these are easy every day, but they are simple enough to repeat. Start there. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You need to become a slightly more consistent person today. Now, let's talk about portions again, because this is where confusion happens. More is not always better. You do not need a giant bowl. Half a cup to 1 cup daily is a realistic amount for many people. If you are adding blueberries to a smoothie, measure them. If you are eating them at night, portion small. If you are using dried blueberries, be careful, because dried fruit is concentrated and often has added sugar. Fresh or frozen whole blueberries are usually the better everyday choice. Also, watch what comes with the blueberries. Blueberry muffins are not the same as blueberries. Blueberry pancakes covered in syrup are not the same as blueberries. Blueberry flavored uh, blue cereal is not the same as blueberries. Blueberry jam with added sugar is not the same as blueberries. The real food matters. The whole berry matters. This is a powerful lesson after 50. Do not let marketing trick you. A package can say blueberry and still be full of sugar and refined flour. A drink can show pictures of berries and still be mostly sweetened liquid. Your body does not read labels the way your eyes do. Your body responds to ingredients. Choose the real thing. Now, let's imagine your daily blueberry routine in the most practical way. Monday morning, oats, blueberries, cinnamon, and walnuts. Tuesday, plain yogurt with blueberries and chia seeds. Wednesday, eggs with avocado and a side of blueberries. Thursday, a smoothie with blueberries, protein, spinach, and unsweetened milk. Friday, oats again. Saturday, blueberries as a snack after a walk. Sunday, blueberries with yogurt instead of dessert. Notice how simple this is. Complicated recipes, no extreme rules, just repetition with variety. This is how you build health without making your life feel like a prison. Because food should support your life, not dominate your life. Men after 50 need practical strategies. They do not need unrealistic routines that collapse during a busy week. Blueberries are practical. Keep them available. Pair them wisely. Eat them often. Move your body. Sleep better. Repeat. Now, let's connect this to heart health. Your heart has been working for you every second of your life. It never takes a vacation. It pumps through stress. It pumps through poor sleep. It pumps through heavy meals. It pumps through anger, worry, and long days. After 50, you should become more loyal to your heart, not fearful. Loyal blueberries support heart health by fitting into a diet that supports blood vessels, blood pressure, and inflammation balance. The anthocyanins and polyphenols in blueberries are one reason researchers are interested in them. But your heart also needs less sodium heavy processed food, more movement, healthy body weight, good sleep, and stress control. So when you eat blueberries beyond the bowl, think of the blood moving through your body. Think of the vessels that feed your brain. Think of the heart that has carried you through every hard day. And ask yourself, what can I do today to make its job easier? A walk makes its job easier. Less processed food makes its job easier. Better sleep makes its job easier. A calmer breakfast makes its job easier. Blueberries can be part of that loyalty. Now, the next challenge after 50 is patience. Men often want fast results. They want the inflammation gone in a week, the belly gone in a month, the energy back immediately. But the body did not get here overnight. Give it time. Healthy aging is not a sprint, it is a relationship. You show up for your body, and your body slowly starts trusting you again. Maybe the first result is not weight loss. Maybe the first result is better digestion. Maybe it is fewer cravings. Maybe it is clearer mornings. Maybe it is feeling proud because you kept a promise. Do not ignore those early wins. Early wins build momentum. Momentum is more important than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Momentum carries you. When blueberries are already in your freezer, breakfast becomes easier. When your walking shoes are by the door, movement becomes easier. When your phone is away from the bed, sleep becomes easier. When healthy food is visible, healthy choices become easier. Build the environment. Do not rely only on willpower. Now, let's talk about the deeper meaning of reverse aging. We have to be honest. We cannot turn back the calendar, but we can often reverse certain signals that make us feel older than we are. We can improve energy. We can support muscle. We can improve blood sugar habits. We can reduce inflammatory foods. We can improve sleep. We can improve mobility. We can improve circulation. We can improve how we feel when we wake up. That is the real version of reversing aging, reversing the direction of decline. Blueberries help because they are one of the foods that support that new direction. They bring color where many diets are beige. They bring fiber where many diets are empty. They bring natural sweetness where many diets are overloaded with sugar. They bring polyphenols where many diets are missing plant protection. They bring simplicity where many health plans are too complicated. And simplicity matters because the man who is busy, stressed, and tired needs something he can actually do tomorrow. So tomorrow, do this. Choose one meal. Add blueberries. Not later. Not someday. One meal. If breakfast is your weakest meal, start there. If evening cravings are your weakness, use blueberries there. If your snacks are processed, replace one. Do not try to win the whole war in one day. Win one moment, then repeat. After 50, health is won in moments. The moment you choose water before another sweet drink, the moment you stand up after sitting too long, the moment you go to bed instead of scrolling, the moment you add blueberries to breakfast instead of skipping it, the moment you walk even though you do not feel like it, the moment you stop saying, I'll start Monday and start right now. That is how inflammation begins to lose power. Not because you attacked it with one dramatic decision, but because you stopped feeding it every day. And let's be honest, many men are feeding inflammation without realizing it. They are feeding it with stress, feeding it with poor sleep, feeding it with processed food, feeding it with inactivity, feeding it with late meals, feeding it with ignoring their body. So the answer is not only to eat blueberries. The answer is to stop giving inflammation so much fuel. Blueberries add protection. Better habits remove fuel. That combination is powerful. Now, before we end this part, I want you to picture your future self. 5 years from now, he is either thanking you or questioning you. He is either saying, thank you for starting when you did, or he is saying, why did you wait? The choices that shape him are not only big, dramatic choices, they are small daily choices. The bowl you eat, the walk you take, the sleep you protect, the stress you manage, the food you repeat. One cup of blueberries will not change your life in one day, but one cup of blueberries every day can become part of a life that changes direction. And that is the real secret. Healthy aging is not about chasing youth. It is about protecting function, protecting energy, protecting movement, protecting memory, protecting confidence, protecting the ability to live fully. So when you see blueberries, do not see a tiny fruit. See a message, see color, see protection, see a daily vote for the man you are becoming. And tomorrow morning, when you place those blueberries into your bowl, remind yourself that this is not just breakfast. This is a decision. This is a line in the sand. This is you telling inflammation, you do not get to control the rest of my life. And the best part is you do not need to be perfect to begin. You only need to begin. Now, let's go deeper into what aging really feels like after 50. Because aging is not just a number. Aging is the moment you bend down and need a second before standing back up. Aging is when a long day takes longer to recover from. Aging is when your sleep becomes lighter, your energy becomes less predictable, and your your body seems to ask for more care than it used to. Aging is when the same habits you once got away with suddenly start charging interest. And that is why the food you eat every day matters more than the food you eat once in a while. Blueberries are not powerful because you eat them once and something dramatic happens. They are powerful because they can become a repeated message to your cells. And your cells are always listening. They listen to what you eat. They listen to how you sleep. They listen to how much you move. They listen to stress. They listen to light. They listen to your breathing. They listen to your routine. And over time, the messages you repeat become the body you live in. If you are over 50, this is one of the most important truths you can understand. Your body is not just wearing out. Your body is responding. It is responding to years of signals. Some signals tell the body to protect, repair, and stay strong. Other signals tell the body to store, inflame, slow down, and defend itself. Blueberries belong to the first group. When you eat blueberries, you are giving your body natural plant compounds, fiber, water, and gentle sweetness. You are giving your body color from nature. And in the language of food, color often means protection. Deep blue, purple, red, green, orange, yellow. These are not just beautiful colors. These are signs of natural compounds that plants use to survive stress. When we eat a variety of colorful plants, we borrow some of that protective power. Blueberries are especially known for their deep blue purple compounds called anthocyanins. These compounds are one reason blueberries are so often talked about in connection with inflammation, circulation, brain aging, and healthy metabolism. They do not work like a drug, they work like information. They help support the body's natural defense systems. And after 50, your defense systems need support every day. Because by this age, the body has been through a lot. Think about your mitochondria. These are tiny energy factories inside your cells. They help turn the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe into energy your body can use. When your mitochondria are working well, you feel it. You feel more alive. Your muscles have more endurance. Your brain feels clearer. Your body recovers better. But when your mitochondria are under stress, you feel that too. You feel tired, heavy, slow, and older. Most people talk about aging as if it is only about the skin. But a lot of aging begins at the energy level. When your cells struggle to make energy cleanly, your whole body can feel the difference. After 50, mitochondrial health becomes one of the biggest pieces of the aging puzzle. Poor sleep can stress mitochondria. Too much processed food can stress them. Sitting too much can weaken them. Chronic stress can wear them down. High blood sugar swings can create more pressure, and oxidative stress can damage the systems that create energy. This is where blueberries fit into the story. Their antioxidant and polyphenol content can help support your body against oxidative stress. And when you lower oxidative stress, create better conditions for your cells to function. Again, this does not mean blueberries are a miracle. It means they are one daily tool in a larger repair system. Imagine your cells as a busy city. Your mitochondria are the power plants. Your blood vessels are the roads. Your gut is the supply center. Brain is the command center. Your muscles are the engines. Your immune system is the security team. When inflammation is too high, the whole city becomes tense. Roads get crowded. Energy becomes inefficient. Waste builds up. Security stays on alert, even when there is no real emergency. Over time, the city becomes exhausted. Blueberries are like sending a calming, protective message into that city. They do not do every job, but they help create an environment where repair can happen. And that is what aging well really means. It means creating an environment inside your body where repair is stronger than damage. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest enemies of repair: poor sleep. Many men after 50 underestimate sleep. They think sleep is just rest, but sleep is when the body repairs tissue, balances hormones, supports the immune system, clears waste from the brain, and resets metabolism. If your sleep is poor, your inflammation can rise, your cravings can increase, your belly becomes harder to lose, your mood becomes less stable, your blood sugar becomes harder to manage, your memory can suffer, your motivation drops. You can eat blueberries every day, but if you sleep 4 or 5 hours and live on stress, your body will still struggle. Food and sleep work together. Blueberries support repair, but sleep gives repair the time and space to happen. This is why timing matters. If you eat a heavy meal late at night, your body has to focus on digestion when it should be entering repair mode. If you snack on sugary foods before bed, your blood sugar may rise and fall during the night. If you drink too much caffeine late in the day, your sleep quality can suffer even if you fall asleep. If you stare at bright screens until midnight, your brain may not receive the right signal to wind down. So, if you want blueberries to help support healthy aging, place them inside a routine that respects sleep. For many men, the best blueberry habit is earlier in the day. Breakfast is perfect. Lunch is also fine. A small evening portion can work if it replaces a processed dessert, but do not make it part of a heavy late night eating pattern. The goal is to use blueberries to support your body, not to keep your digestive system busy all night. Here is a simple evening rule: to finish your main meal a few hours before bed when possible. Keep late snacks light. Turn down the lights. Put the phone away earlier. Take a short walk after dinner if you can. Breathe slowly for a few minutes. Let your body understand that the day is ending. When your body receives that signal, sleep becomes easier. When sleep improves, repair improves. When repair improves, inflammation has less power. Now, let's talk about stress. Stress is one of the most silent aging accelerators, and men often carry it in a quiet way. They do not always say, I am stressed. They say, I'm tired. They say, I'm busy. They say, it's just life. But the body knows the difference. The body knows when the mind is always alert. The body knows when breathing is shallow. The body knows when shoulders are tight. The body knows when food is being used as comfort. The body knows when sleep is disturbed by worry. Chronic stress can keep inflammation switched on. It can raise cravings. It can make you eat faster. It can make you choose quick food instead of real food. It can make your body hold weight more easily. It can drain motivation. It can make you feel older than you are. Blueberries cannot remove your problems, but they can be part of a stress-lowering routine. And sometimes routine is exactly what a stressed body needs. Think of a morning blueberry bowl not just as food, but as a reset. You sit down, you eat slowly, you chew, you breathe, you stop rushing for 2 minutes. You remind yourself that health begins with attention. That small pause can change the tone of the day. A rushed body digests differently than a calm body. A stressed body craves differently than a calm body. A tired body chooses differently than a rested body. So when you eat blueberries, do not just throw them into your mouth while standing at the counter. Make it a moment, a small moment, but a real one. This is how a simple food becomes a lifestyle anchor. Now, let's talk about the immune system. Inflammation is part of immunity. It is not always bad. You need inflammation when you are injured or fighting infection. The problem is when inflammation does not turn off properly. It is like an alarm that keeps ringing after the danger is gone. Eventually, the alarm itself becomes exhausting. After 50, immune balance becomes extremely important. You want your immune system alert, but not overactive, strong, but not chaotic, responsive, but not constantly inflamed. Food helps shape this balance. Highly processed diets can push the body toward more inflammation. Fiber-rich, colorful, plant-rich diets can help support a healthier balance. Blueberries help because they are part of that plant-rich pattern. Their fiber supports the gut. Their polyphenols support antioxidant systems. Their natural sweetness helps replace more damaging sweets. And their convenience makes them easy to repeat. But let's be honest, blueberries alone cannot overcome a full day of inflammatory choices. If breakfast is healthy, but lunch is fried, dinner is heavy, sleep is short, movement is absent, and stress is constant, the body is still receiving mixed signals. That does not mean blueberries are useless. It means they are one piece of the puzzle. Goal is not to eat one perfect food. The goal is to build a body that receives more repair signals than damage signals. And that starts with your daily plate. After 50, your meals should do four things. They should support steady energy. They should protect muscle. They should feed the gut. They should lower unnecessary inflammation. Blueberries fit into this because they uh, provide fiber and plant compounds, but they need partners. Protein for muscle, healthy fats for satisfaction, vegetables for minerals and fiber, water for circulation, movement for blood sugar control. A smart breakfast might be plain yogurt with blueberries, walnuts, and chia seeds. Another option is oatmeal with blueberries, cinnamon, and ground flax. Another option is eggs with vegetables and a side of blueberries. Another option is a smoothie made with blueberries, protein, spinach, and unsweetened milk. Notice the pattern. Blueberries are there, but they are not alone. This matters because many men make the mistake of eating healthy sugar without balance. Fruit is healthy, but a meal should still be balanced. When you pair blueberries with protein and fiber, you help the body receive the sweetness more steadily. When you eat them with processed carbohydrates and added sugar, you lose that advantage. So think of blueberries as a smart addition, not a free pass. Now, let's talk about inflammation and the liver. Your liver works quietly every day. It processes nutrients, manages toxins, stores energy, and helps regulate metabolism. After 50, the liver can become stressed by too much sugar, alcohol, processed food, and excess body fat. When the liver is under pressure, energy, digestion, and metabolism can suffer. Blueberries can be part of a liver-friendly pattern because they help replace processed sweets and add polyphenols and fiber. But the bigger liver supporting message is this: reduce what overloads the system. Less sugary drinks, less late night overeating, less ultra processed food, less excess alcohol, more real food, more movement, more weight control, more sleep. Blueberries help most when they are part of a cleaner pattern. Now, I want to speak to the man who says, I already feel old. Maybe you feel stiff every morning. Maybe your energy drops in the afternoon. Maybe you feel like your best years are behind you. Maybe you look at younger men and feel frustration. Maybe you feel like your body is no longer on your side, but your body is not your enemy. Your body is your history. It is showing you what has been repeated. And the good news is you can start repeating something different. You can repeat a better breakfast. You can repeat a walk. You can repeat sleep. You can repeat stretching. You can repeat blueberries. You can repeat strength training. You can repeat deep breathing. You can repeat water before coffee. You can repeat a lighter dinner. You can repeat self-respect. And when you repeat better signals, your body gets a chance to answer differently. This is the hopeful part of aging. The body still adapts. Muscle can still respond to training. Blood sugar can still improve with better habits. Energy can still rise. Sleep can still become deeper. Digestion can still become smoother. The brain can still learn. The heart can still benefit from movement. The body can still become more resilient. Do not let your age become an excuse to stop communicating with your body. Every meal is communication. When you eat blueberries, you are saying, I am choosing repair. When you go for a walk, you are saying, I am choosing circulation. When you lift weights, you are saying, I am choosing strength. When you sleep earlier, you are saying, I am choosing recovery. When you reduce processed food, you are saying, I am lowering the fire. And after 50, those messages matter more than ever. Now, let's talk about how to make blueberries work in real life, not just in theory, because many people hear health advice and think, that sounds nice, but my life is busy. So let's make it practical. First, blueberries available. If fresh blueberries are not always affordable or they spoil too fast, buy frozen. Frozen blueberries can be added to warm oats, smoothies, yogurt, or even allowed to thaw slightly and eaten like a cold dessert. The freezer removes excuses. It means the habit is ready when you are. Second, use blueberries to replace something worse. Do not just add more food on top of everything else. If you normally eat a sugary snack in the afternoon, replace it with blueberries and nuts. If you normally eat dessert after dinner, replace it with blueberries and plain yogurt. If you normally drink juice at breakfast, eat whole blueberries instead. The replacement is where much of the benefit comes from. Third, pair blueberries with protein. After 50, protein matters because muscle matters. Muscle is not only about strength, it supports metabolism, balance, and independence. A breakfast of only carbohydrates may leave you hungry. But blueberries with protein can keep you fuller and support muscle maintenance. Fourth, do not turn blueberries into a sugar bomb. Blueberry muffins, sweetened blueberry yogurt, blueberry pastries, and blueberry flavored drinks are not the same as whole blueberries. Marketing knows that the word blueberry sounds healthy, but your body responds to the whole ingredient list, not the picture on the package. Fifth, eat them consistently. This is the most important. Health is not built by occasional perfection. It is built by repeated basics. Now, let's talk about the 30-day effect, not as a promise, but as a way to understand habit change. In the first week, your goal is simple. Show up. Eat blueberries every day in a smart way. Do not judge the results yet. Build the habit. In the second week, start pairing the habit with movement. Add a short walk after breakfast or dinner. In the third week, improve sleep timing. Stop eating heavy meals late. Reduce screen time before bed. In the fourth week, clean up one more part of your diet. Remove one processed snack or sugary drink. By the end of 30 days, the blueberries are no longer just a food. They are part of a system. And that system is what creates change. Many men try to change everything at once and then they quit. But change does not need to be loud to be real. Sometimes the quietest habit is the one that changes the direction of your life. A bowl of blueberries in the morning, a walk after dinner, a bottle of water on your desk, a bedtime that protects your sleep, a few minutes of strength training. These things do not look dramatic on camera, but inside the body, they matter. Now, let's talk about inflammation and the brain-body connection. When inflammation is high, it can affect mood and mental energy. Many men do not connect food with mood. They think mood is only about life circumstances, but your brain is an organ. It needs nutrients, it needs blood flow, it needs stable energy, it needs a healthy gut, it needs sleep, it needs movement. If your day begins with sugar, stress, and caffeine, brain may feel wired but not steady. If your day begins with hydration, protein, blueberries, and movement, your brain may feel calmer and clearer. This does not mean food fixes every emotional challenge. It means food can either support your mental state or make it harder. Blueberries are a brain supporting food because they fit into a pattern that supports blood vessels, oxidative stress defense, and steady energy. But the brain also needs quiet. Men after 50 often spend too much time in noise. News, phone, work pressure, family pressure, financial pressure, constant alerts. The nervous system never rests. So here is a simple routine. Eat your blueberry breakfast without your phone for the first 5 minutes. Let your brain start the day without a flood of stress. Chew slowly. Breathe through your nose. Notice the food. Notice the taste. This is not just mindfulness. It is physiology. A calmer nervous system supports digestion and better decision making. When you start the day calmer, you are less likely to chase quick comfort later. Now, let's talk about movement again, because it is impossible to talk about inflammation and aging without movement. Blueberries can support your body, but movement activates your body. Food provides signals. Movement creates demand. When you move, your muscles use glucose. Blood flow improves. Joints get lubricated. The brain receives more oxygen. The body becomes more insulin sensitive. Mood often improves after 50. Walking is one of the most underrated tools. A brisk walk may not look impressive, but it is powerful. Walking after meals is especially useful because it helps your body handle the energy from food. Do not need to walk for an hour. Start with 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not intimidating. 10 minutes is repeatable, and repeatable is what works. Pair blueberries with walking, not literally at the same second, but as part of the same lifestyle. Blueberries in the morning, walk after breakfast, or blueberries at lunch, walk afterward, or blueberries as a healthier evening dessert. Walk after dinner. This combination helps turn food into energy instead of storage. Strength training is the next layer. After 50, muscle becomes a health organ. It helps with blood sugar control. It supports joints. It protects balance. It helps you stay capable. If you lose muscle, everyday life becomes harder. Stairs become harder. Um, Carrying things becomes harder. Getting up from a chair becomes harder. Recovery becomes harder. So eat blueberries, but also lift something. Start small. Body weight exercises, light dumbbells, resistance bands, push ups against a wall, squats to a chair. You do not need to train like a young athlete. You need to train like a man who wants to stay strong for life. And after training, blueberries can become part of recovery. Add them to yogurt, blend them with protein, eat them with oats. Give your muscles the building blocks and your cells the protective compounds. Now, let's talk about hydration. Many men are mildly dehydrated and do not realize it. They drink coffee, tea, maybe soda, but not enough water. Dehydration can make fatigue worse. It can affect digestion. It can make joints feel less comfortable. It can make cravings stronger because thirst can feel like hunger. Blueberries contain water, but they do not replace drinking water. Use them as part of a hydrating lifestyle. A simple morning routine could be water first, then blueberries with breakfast. This alone can change how you feel. Before coffee, water. Before rushing, breathe. Before processed food, real food. Simple but powerful. Now, let's address a common concern. Some people hear about fruit and worry about sugar. This is understandable, especially if they are watching blood sugar. But whole fruit is not the same as added sugar. Blueberries come with fiber, water, and polyphenols. The key is portion and pairing. 2. Half a cup to 1 cup with a balanced meal is very different from drinking a large sweet fruit juice or blending a massive smoothie with multiple high sugar ingredients. If you have a medical condition that affects blood sugar, follow your healthcare professional's advice. But for many men, whole blueberries can fit into a healthy eating pattern, especially when paired with protein and fiber. Uh, do not fear real food because processed food cause problems. Learn how to use real food wisely. Now, let's talk about how blueberries can help with cravings. Cravings are not just about willpower. They can come from poor sleep, stress, low protein, blood sugar swings, emotional habits, and food environment. If your kitchen is full of cookies and sweet snacks, cravings become harder. If your fridge and freezer have blueberries, yogurt, nuts, and simple real foods, cravings become easier to redirect. A, a craving usually wants something quick, sweet, and comforting. Blueberries can meet part of that need without sending you into a processed food cycle. A small bowl of frozen blueberries with plain yogurt can feel like dessert. Add cinnamon, and it feels even more satisfying. This is how you do not fight the craving with punishment. You guide it toward something better. After 50, the goal is not to live with constant restriction. The goal is to build better defaults. A better default means when you are tired, the easy choice is still a decent choice. When you are stressed, the food available does not destroy your progress. When you want sweetness, you have a real food option ready. Blueberry are an excellent default. Now, let's discuss inflammation and belly fat again, because this is where many men want real answers. You cannot spot reduce belly fat with one food, but you can create a daily environment where belly fat becomes easier to lose. That environment includes stable blood sugar, enough protein, less processed food, movement, sleep, stress management, and a calorie balance that supports fat loss. Blueberries help because they can replace higher calorie sweets and support a healthier metabolic pattern. But do not add blueberries to a diet that is already too high in calories and expect fat loss. Use them smartly. Replace, do not just add. Replace dessert, replace sugary cereal, replace juice, replace afternoon candy, replace sweet snacks. The swap matters. A man who replaces a nightly bowl of ice cream with blueberries and yogurt is making a meaningful change. A man who adds blueberries on top of the ice cream is not making the same change. This is why honesty matters in health. Your body knows the difference. Now, let's talk about aging and inflammation in the joints, muscles, and blood vessels. These systems are connected. If blood vessels are healthier, nutrients reach tissues better. If muscles are stronger, joints are supported better. If inflammation is lower, recovery feels easier. If sleep is better, repair improves. If blood sugar is steadier, energy improves. The body is one connected system. Blueberries may be small, but they touch several parts of that system. They support the gut with fiber. They support blood vessels with polyphenols. They support antioxidant defenses. They replace processed sweets. They support better meal patterns. They make healthy eating easier. That is why one food can matter, even though one food is not everything. Now, I want you to picture blueberries not as medicine, but as a daily vote. Every day, you vote with your fork. You vote for inflammation or repair. You vote for energy or heaviness. You vote for short-term comfort or long-term strength. You vote for the man you are becoming. Most votes feel small. That is why people ignore them. But elections are won by small votes added together. Your health is the same way. One meal may not seem important. One walk may not seem important. One night of sleep may not seem important. But repeated over months and years, these votes decide the direction of your life. After 50, cannot afford to believe that small choices do not matter. Small choices are exactly what matter. Now, let's talk about practical meal timing for different lifestyles. If you work early, prepare your blueberry breakfast the night before. Put oats, chia seeds, yogurt, and blueberries in a container. In the morning, you do not need to think. You just eat. If you do not like breakfast, use blueberries at lunch or as an afternoon snack with nuts. If you train in the morning, Use blueberries after your workout with protein. If you get cravings at night, save a small portion for after dinner, but keep it light. Um, um, if you travel, buy blueberries when available or use frozen when at home. If blueberries are expensive, rotate with other berries when needed. The point is the pattern: colorful, fiber rich, polyphenol rich foods every day. Blueberries are one of the best options, but the habit of eating protective plants is bigger than one fruit. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Do not turn blueberry eating into a short challenge and then stop. Do not eat them for 7 days. Look for a miracle and quit. Do not drown them in sugar. Do not eat them only in desserts. Do not believe that one healthy food cancels out an unhealthy lifestyle. Do not use them as an excuse to ignore sleep, exercise, or medical care. Do not chase perfection. Do not become obsessed. Use blueberries as a simple, steady habit. The body loves steady. Now, let's connect this to aging at the cellular level again. Every day, cells are damaged and repaired. Old proteins are recycled. New cells are made. DNA is protected and repaired. Mitochondria are renewed. The immune system cleans up. The body is constantly maintaining itself. Aging accelerates when damage consistently exceeds repair. Healthy aging happens when you support repair and reduce unnecessary damage. Blueberries support the repair side by helping your body handle oxidative stress and inflammation. Sleep supports repair by giving the body time. Protein supports repair by providing building blocks. Movement supports repair by improving circulation and signaling muscles to stay strong. Hydration supports repair by helping transport nutrients. Stress management supports repair by lowering constant alarm signals. This is the full picture. And after 50, the full picture matters because many men chase one solution: a supplement, a powder, a diet trend, a workout program. But the body does not respond to one isolated thing as much as it responds to the total environment. Blueberries are powerful when they become part of a full environment of repair. That environment does not need to be extreme. It needs to be consistent. Now, let's make this emotional for a moment. Think about the people who depend on you, your family, your friends, the people who would miss your strength, your presence, your guidance, your humor, your experience. Taking care of your health after 50 is not selfish. It is responsible. It is how you stay present. It is how you remain capable. It is how you continue showing up. Many men spend their lives taking care of everyone else and neglecting themselves. They work hard, they provide, they solve problems, they carry pressure, but the body carrying all of that also needs care. You cannot keep withdrawing from an account you never refill. Blueberries are a small deposit. So is sleep, so is walking, so is drinking water, so is strength training, so is saying no to food that keeps hurting you, so is taking a breath before reacting, so is making a doctor's appointment when you need one, so is listening when your body whispers. Do not wait until the whisper becomes a shout. Now, let's speak directly to men who feel embarrassed about starting small. Maybe you think a bowl of blueberries is too simple. Maybe you think walking 10 minutes is too little. Maybe you think light weights are not enough. But starting small is not weakness. Starting small is wisdom. The strongest habits often begin quietly. A man who walks 10 minutes every day is ahead of a man who plans a perfect workout and never does it. A man who eats blueberries every morning is ahead of a man who reads about nutrition all night and changes nothing. A man who sleeps 30 minutes earlier is ahead of a man who complains about fatigue but stays on his phone until 1 a.m. The body rewards action, not intention. Take action. Now, let's talk about the best ways to enjoy blueberries without making things complicated. You can add them to warm oatmeal and let the heat soften them until the juice turns the oats purple. You can mix them with plain Greek yogurt and cinnamon for a creamy sweet bowl. You can blend them with protein and unsweetened milk for a smoothie. You can sprinkle them over cottage style breakfast if that fits your diet. You can eat them with a handful of walnuts. You can add them to a salad with greens and grilled protein. You can use them as a simple dessert after dinner. The goal is to make the healthy choice enjoyable enough to repeat. If you hate the way you eat, you will eventually quit. So make it enjoyable, make it simple, make it yours. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake in healthy aging content. People often make it sound like you must fight your body, burn fat, destroy cravings, attack aging, crush inflammation. But your body is not a battlefield. Your body is a living system that needs better care. You do not need to hate your body into health. You need to support it into healing. Blueberries are a gentle food. They remind us that health can be nourishing, not punishing. You do not have to suffer to start. You can begin with something sweet, colorful, and simple. That matters because shame does not build long-term health. Respect does. When you respect your body, you feed it differently. You move it differently. You rest it differently. You speak to yourself differently. You stop saying, I'm too old. You start saying, I'm still responsible. You stop saying, nothing works. You start saying, consistency works when I actually practice it. You stop saying, I'll start later. You start saying, one better choice now. That one better choice can be blueberries. Now, in the next stage of this journey, you will start to understand that anti-aging is not about chasing youth. It is about protecting your future. A younger looking face means little if the body is weak, tired, inflamed, and stiff. Real anti-aging is waking up with energy, walking with strength, thinking clearly, digesting well, sleeping deeply, staying independent, keeping your heart strong, keeping your mind sharp, keeping your body responsive. Blueberries support that because they are connected to the systems that matter: inflammation, oxidative stress, blood vessels, gut health, and metabolism. But they only become powerful when they are repeated. Here is the challenge for the next part of your life. Do not just listen to this and feel inspired. Inspiration fades. Build the habit. Buy the blueberries. Put them where you can see them. Add them to breakfast tomorrow. Pair them with protein. Walk after one meal. Sleep a little earlier. Drink more water. Repeat the next day. This is how you turn information into transformation. And remember, the goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to become reliable. Reliable with your meals, reliable with your movement, reliable with your sleep, reliable with your self-respect, reliable with the small things that keep inflammation lower and repair stronger. Because after 50, your body does not need random bursts of effort. It needs reliable care. Now, imagine yourself 3 months from now. You have eaten blueberries most mornings. You have replaced some processed snacks. You walk more. You sleep a little better. You feel more in control. Maybe your energy is steadier. Maybe your digestion is better. Maybe your cravings are lower. Maybe you feel proud. That pride matters. Pride builds momentum. Momentum builds identity. Identity builds a lifestyle. And that lifestyle is what changes aging. Not one food alone, not one workout, not one perfect week. A lifestyle, but sometimes a lifestyle begins with one food, a small bowl of blueberries, a small decision, a small promise, a quiet message to your body that the old pattern is ending and that repair begins now. Now, once you understand that blueberries are not just a fruit but a daily signal, the next question becomes very practical. How do you use them in a way that actually changes your life after 50? Because knowing something is healthy is easy. Building it into your real routine with real stress, real cravings, real work, real family pressure, and real tiredness, that is where the transformation begins. Most people fail with healthy habits not because they do not care, but because they make the habit too complicated. Uh, they hear about inflammation and aging, and suddenly they try to change everything at once. They throw away all their food. They buy supplements. They start a strict diet. They promise to work out every day. They try to sleep early, drink more water, stop sugar, lose belly fat, cook perfect meals, and fix their whole life in 1 week. And for a few days, they feel powerful. But then life happens. Work gets busy, sleep gets disturbed, a family issue comes up, the cravings return, the routine breaks, and they say, see, I can't do it. But that is not true. The problem is not you. The problem is the system. After 50, your health system must be simple enough to survive a busy life. Blueberries work so well um, it- because they are simple. You can keep them in the fridge, you can keep them in the freezer, you can put them in a bowl, you can add them to breakfast. You can use them as a better dessert. You can take one small step without turning your whole life upside down. And sometimes one small step is exactly what your body has been waiting for. Think about inflammation like a fire that has been fed for years. Every late night meal, every sugary snack, every sleepless night, every stressful day, every long stretch of sitting, every processed meal, every ignored warning sign, it all adds fuel. And then one day you wake up and feel the heat. Your joints feel stiff. Your energy feels low. Your belly feels heavier. Your mind feels cloudy. Your body feels older. The first mistake is thinking you need to put out the whole fire in one dramatic move. The smarter move is to stop adding fuel and begin adding repair. Blueberries are repair, walking is repair, sleep is repair, water is repair, protein is repair, calm breathing is repair, strength training is repair, morning sunlight is repair, real food is repair. And the more repair signals you give your body, the less power that hidden fire has over your future. Now, let's build this into a real day. Imagine tomorrow morning. You wake up and your first instinct is to grab your phone. Before you even stand, your brain is filled with messages, news, stress, and comparison. Your nervous system goes from sleep to pressure in seconds. Then you rush. You drink coffee. Maybe you skip breakfast too. Maybe you eat something fast. And before your day has even started, your body is already in survival mode. Now imagine a different morning. You wake up, you drink water first, not a giant routine, just water. You open the curtains and let natural light touch your face. You move your body for a few minutes, even if it is just stretching, walking around the room, or stepping outside. Then you eat a simple breakfast with blueberries, plain yogurt with blueberries and walnuts, oats with blueberries and cinnamon, eggs with vegetables and a side of blueberries, a smoothie with blueberries, protein, and spinach. Something simple, something real, something your body can understand. That morning is not perfect, but it is different. And different repeated long enough becomes transformation. The first meal after waking is very important after 50 because it can set the rhythm for blood sugar, hunger, cravings, and energy. If breakfast is mostly sugar and refined carbohydrates, you may feel good for a short time, then crash. That crash can lead to more coffee, more snacking, more cravings, and less control later in the day. But when breakfast contains protein, fiber, healthy fats, and blueberries, the body receives a steadier message. This matters because men after 50 often struggle with energy crashes. They may think they are just tired from age, but sometimes they are tired from blood sugar swings. A high sugar breakfast can push energy up quickly, then drop it. Skipping breakfast can work for some people, but for others, it creates intense hunger later. Eating too little during the day can lead to overeating at night, and eating too much at night can affect sleep. Then poor sleep creates more cravings the next day. The cycle continues. Blueberries help interrupt that cycle when you use them wisely, not in a muffin, not in a sugary cereal, not in a sweetened drink. Whole blueberries, fresh or frozen, paired with real food. That is the difference. If you are a man over 50 and your morning routine is weak, start there. Start with a complicated diet. Start with a uh, uh, start with a better breakfast. Add blueberries to something that has protein and fiber. Then watch how the rest of the day begins to shift. Now, after breakfast, movement matters. Not an extreme workout, not punishment, movement. A 10-minute walk after eating can be a powerful habit. It helps your muscles use some of the energy from the meal. It supports digestion. It improves circulation, wakes up the body. It tells your metabolism, we are active, we are alive, we are using fuel. And this is important because after 50, sitting becomes one of the quietest enemies. Sitting does not feel dangerous while you are doing it. It feels normal. You sit for work, sit in the car, sit at meals, sit in front of the television, sit with your phone. But the body was not designed to stay still all day. When you sit too much, blood flow slows. Muscles become less active, joints become stiff, posture suffers. Blood sugar control can become harder, and your body begins to feel older. Blueberries support your body from the inside. Movement activates your body from the outside. Together, they create a stronger signal. So here is a simple way to think about it. Eat the blueberries, then move the body, feed the cells, then use the energy. Give your blood vessels support, then make the blood flow. Give your muscles fuel, then remind them they are still needed. This is how you stop aging from becoming passive. Many men age faster because they become passive with their bodies. They wait, they sit, they accept decline. They say, this is normal. But not everything common is normal. It may be common to feel tired after 50, but that does not mean you should ignore it. It may be common to gain belly fat after 50, but that does not mean you should surrender. It may be common to feel stiff every morning, but that does not mean you stop moving. Your body is asking for better conditions, and better conditions can begin today. Now, let's talk about lunch, because many men do well in the morning and fall apart in the middle of the day. Lunch is often rushed. Maybe you are working, maybe you are driving, maybe you eat whatever is available, fast food, fried food, white bread, sweet drinks, heavy meals. Then the afternoon crash comes. You feel sleepy, you lose focus, you want something sweet. And by evening, your body is already tired before the day is done. If inflammation is a fire, poor lunch can be a large piece of fuel. So use lunch as another opportunity to lower the fire. You do not need blueberries at every meal, but you do need the same principle: color, fiber, protein, real food. If you had blueberries at breakfast, lunch can be vegetables, lean protein, beans, lentils, fish, chicken, eggs, or whatever fits your diet and culture. The goal is to make your plate look alive. If your plate is always beige, fried, and processed, your cells are not receiving enough protective information. Blueberries teach you the power of color. Carry that lesson into the rest of the day. A colorful plate is not just more beautiful. It usually means more plant compounds, more fiber, more minerals, and more support for the gut. Greens, tomatoes, carrots, peppers, herbs, onions, beans, berries, citrus, and spices all send helpful signals. When you eat a variety of real foods, your body receives a wider range of support. But if you only add blueberries and ignore every other meal, the change will be limited. Think bigger. Let blueberries be the door that opens the rest of your lifestyle. Now let's talk about the afternoon. For many men, this is the danger zone. Energy dips, stress rises, hunger returns. The brain wants comfort. This is when processed snacks become tempting. Chips, cookies, sweet tea, sugary coffee drinks, pastries, candy, whatever is nearby. And once you start, it is hard to stop because these foods are designed to be easy to overeat. This is where preparation matters more than willpower. If you know the afternoon is your weak point, keep a better option ready. Blueberries with a handful of nuts, blueberries with plain yogurt, blueberries with chia pudding. Or if you already ate blueberries in the morning, choose another real snack like nuts, boiled eggs, fruit, or vegetables with a protein source. The point is to stop being surprised by predictable cravings. A wise man does not wait for the craving to attack and then hope he is strong. He prepares the environment before the craving arrives. After 52, your environment can either protect you or push you toward inflammation. If your kitchen is full of processed snacks, you will eat them when tired. If your fridge has ready blueberries, yogurt, eggs, vegetables, and water, you have a chance to choose better even when willpower is low. This is not about being strict, being smart. Now, let's talk about dinner. Dinner can either support repair or steal repair. A heavy dinner late at night can make sleep worse. A meal full of processed carbohydrates and fried foods can create heaviness. Eating too close to bedtime can keep digestion active when the body should be winding down. And if sleep suffers, inflammation can rise, cravings rise, energy falls. The next day becomes harder. So dinner should be satisfying but not destructive. After 50, many men do better when dinner is lighter than their old habits. Protein, vegetables, healthy fats, and a reasonable portion of slow carbohydrates if needed. Eat slowly, stop before you feel stuffed. Give your body time before bed. If you want something sweet after dinner, blueberries can be useful. A small bowl with plain yogurt and cinnamon can replace a heavier dessert. Frozen blueberries can feel like a cold treat, but keep it controlled. The goal is not to snack all night. The goal is to satisfy the sweet desire without feeding the inflammation cycle. Now, there is a deeper reason this matters. Nighttime is when your body enters repair mode. During sleep, your brain clears waste, muscles repair, hormones rebalance, the immune system resets, the body does maintenance. If you eat heavily late, sleep poorly, or stay stressed, that repair window becomes weaker. And if repair is weak night after night, aging feels faster. So when people ask, can blueberries reverse aging? The honest answer is this. Blueberries can support the systems that help your body age better, but they work best when you stop blocking repair. If you eat blueberries and still sleep badly, sit all day, eat processed food, and live under constant stress, you are sending mixed messages. But if you eat blueberries and also protect sleep, move daily, hydrate, and reduce processed food, the message becomes clear. The body needs clear messages. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful anti-aging habits, strength training. Many men after 50 focus only on walking, and walking is excellent, but muscle is also essential. Muscle helps control blood sugar. Muscle supports posture. Muscle protects joints. Muscle helps you stay independent. Muscle keeps the body metabolically active. Losing muscle is one reason many people feel older, weaker, and less confident. Blueberries can support recovery, but they cannot replace resistance. Your muscles need a reason to stay. If you never challenge them, they slowly leave. This is not punishment. This is adaptation. The body keeps what you use and loses what you ignore. So 2 or 3 times a week, challenge your muscles safely. You can use resistance bands, dumbbells, machines, or body weight movements. You can start with simple exercises, squats to a chair, wall push-ups, rows with a band, light deadlifts if you know proper form, step-ups, farmer carries, gentle core work. The point is not to become a bodybuilder. The point is to tell your body strength is still required here. After strength training, blueberries can fit beautifully into recovery. Pair them with protein. A bowl of yogurt and blueberries. A smoothie with blueberries and protein. Oats with blueberries after a morning session. This gives your muscles nutrients and gives your cells plant compounds that support recovery. But do not train like your ego is still 25 if your body is asking for wisdom. After 50, the goal is consistency without injury. Warm up, move well, increase slowly, listen to pain, recover, sleep, eat enough protein, repeat. A strong body is built by repeated intelligent effort, not occasional extreme effort. Now, let's talk about the gut again, because this is where blueberries quietly do some of their best work. Your gut microbes love fiber and plant compounds. When you feed them well, they can support digestion, immune balance, and metabolism. When you feed them poorly, the gut environment can become less balanced. Many men after 50 deal with digestion issues but normalize them. Bloating after meals, irregular bathroom habits, heavy stomach, reflux, discomfort, gas. They may blame age, but often the gut is asking for better food timing, more fiber, more water, less processed food, less late night eating, and calmer eating. Blueberries bring fiber and polyphenols, but your gut also needs diversity. Add other plant foods through the day: vegetables, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, whole grains if they fit your body. The gut likes variety. Blueberries can be one daily visitor, but the gut garden grows best with many plants. Now, here is something most men do not think about. The speed of eating affects digestion. Many people eat like they are in a race. They barely chew. They swallow quickly. They eat while scrolling. They eat while stressed. Then they wonder why digestion feels poor. Your body digests best when it knows you are safe. Slow down. Chew. Breathe. Give your stomach a chance. When you eat blueberries, practice slowing down. Notice the taste. Notice the texture. Notice the sweetness. This may seem too small to matter, but it matters because health is not only what you eat, it is also how you eat. A calm meal tells the nervous system a different story than a rushed meal. Now, let's talk about inflammation and the mind. Many men do not connect their mental state to their physical health, but the connection is real. When stress is constant, the body can stay in alarm mode. When the body stays in alarm mode, sleep gets worse, digestion changes, cravings rise, blood pressure can be affected, and inflammation can increase. The mind and body are not separate, they are one conversation. Blueberries are not a stress cure, but the routine of eating them can become a stress break, to a moment of self care, a moment of control, a moment where you are not just reacting to life, but directing it. Sometimes that is where change begins, not with a perfect meal plan, but with one moment where you say, I am going to take care of myself today. A man after 50 needs that sentence, not once, daily, because many men spend decades proving themselves, working, providing, carrying pressure, fixing problems, helping others. But they forget that the body carrying all of that pressure also needs support. You cannot drive a vehicle for years without maintenance and then be angry when it starts making noise. Your body is asking for maintenance. Blueberries are one small part of that maintenance. Now, let's talk about the common mistakes people make with blueberries. The first mistake is buying blueberry flavored products instead of real blueberries. Blueberry cereal, blueberry pastries, blueberry yogurt with added sugar, blueberry drinks, blueberry bars. These may sound healthy, but many are full of sugar and refined ingredients. Word blueberry on a package does not mean your body is getting the benefits of, of whole blueberries. The second mistake is adding blueberries but not replacing anything. If you keep eating the same processed desserts, and simply add blueberries on top. You may be adding calories without changing the pattern. Use blueberries as a swap. Replace something that feeds inflammation. The third mistake is expecting overnight results. Blueberries work through consistency. You may feel better quickly if they replace junk food, but deeper changes require time. Give your body weeks and months, not hours. The fourth mistake is ignoring the rest of the lifestyle. If sleep is poor, movement is low, and stress is high, blueberries still help, but they are swimming against the current. Change the current. The fifth mistake is making it boring. If you force yourself to eat them in a way you do not enjoy, you will stop. Make them enjoyable, mix them into meals, use cinnamon, use yogurt, use oats, use nuts, use smoothies. Keep the habit alive. Now, let's talk about how blueberries fit into a day for a man who wants to lower inflammation. Morning begins with water, light, and movement. Then blueberries with breakfast, not alone with sugar, but with protein and fiber. Midday brings a real lunch with vegetables and protein. Afternoon cravings are handled with preparation, not panic. Dinner is satisfying but not too heavy. Evening is calmer. Screens are reduced. Sleep is protected. Movement is spread through the day. Strength training happens a few times each week. Blueberries appear daily as one easy anchor. This is not a strict diet. This is a rhythm. And rhythm is what the body loves. Your body has rhythms: sleep wake rhythm, hunger rhythm, hormone rhythm, digestion rhythm, energy rhythm. When your lifestyle is chaotic, these rhythms suffer. When you eat at random times, sleep at random times, snack late, skip movement, and live in constant stress, your body loses rhythm. And when rhythm is lost, inflammation can rise. Blueberries can be part of restoring rhythm because they are simple enough to repeat at the same time each day. A morning bowl, an afternoon snack, a controlled evening dessert. Choose your time and repeat. The repetition becomes a signal. The body begins to expect nourishment. The mind begins to expect self respect. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of eating after 50. Many men eat not because they are hungry, but because they are tired, stressed, lonely, bored, or frustrated. It becomes comfort. And there is no shame in wanting comfort. The problem is when comfort keeps hurting the body. Blueberries can give you a better form of comfort. Sweetness without the same damage. A small ritual without the heavy crash. A treat that supports your goals instead of fighting them. This is how you do not remove comfort from your life. You upgrade it. A bowl of blueberries with yogurt after dinner can become a calming ritual. A blueberry smoothie after a workout can become a reward. Blueberries in oatmeal can become a warm morning comfort. Health does not have to feel cold or strict, it can feel nourishing. And this matters because the habits that heal you must also fit your emotions. If your plan ignores your emotions, it will fail when emotions get loud. Build a plan that includes comfort in a smarter way. Now, let's talk about hydration and inflammation. Water is simple, but many men ignore it. Dehydration can make you feel tired, hungry, foggy, and stiff. It can make digestion slower. It can make workouts feel harder. It can make cravings stronger. Blueberries contain water, but you still need to drink water. A good habit is water before coffee, water before breakfast, water between meals. Not extreme amounts, not forcing yourself, but enough that your body is not running dry. The body's repair systems need fluid. Blood flow needs fluid. Digestion needs fluid. Joints need fluid. Energy production needs fluid. Blueberries plus water is a simple morning combination. Again, simple does not mean weak. Now, let's talk about sunlight. This may seem unrelated, but it matters. Morning light helps set your internal clock. Your internal clock affects sleep. Sleep affects inflammation. Inflammation affects aging. Everything is connected. A man who gets morning light, eats a balanced breakfast with blueberries, and moves his body is sending a very different signal than a man who wakes in darkness, scrolls in stress, skips food, and sits for hours. Healthy aging is not one thing, it is a chain. Blueberries are one link, sleep is one link, movement is one link, stress control is one link, hydration is one link, real food is one link. The stronger the chain, the stronger your future. Now, many men ask, how long until I feel a difference? That depends on what you are replacing and what else you change. If blueberries replace sugary desserts, you may feel better quickly because you removed something harmful. If they are added to an already balanced diet, the change may be more subtle. If you also walk, sleep better, and eat more real food, the difference may become more noticeable over weeks. But do not chase only feelings. Some benefits are quiet. Better blood vessel support is quiet. Better antioxidant defense is quiet. Better gut support is quiet. Lower daily sugar intake is quiet. These changes may not shout immediately, but they matter deeply over time. Aging well is built on quiet victories. Problem with modern health culture is that it loves dramatic promises. Lose weight fast, reverse aging overnight, melt fat instantly, cleanse your body in days. But the body does not work like a headline. The body works through biology, rhythm, and repetition. Blueberries are not a headline. They are a habit, and habits are more powerful than hype. Now, let's talk about shopping. If you want this habit to last, make blueberries easy to buy and easy to use. Fresh blueberries are great, but they can spoil quickly. Frozen blueberries are reliable. Keep both if possible. When you bring them home, connect them to a routine immediately. Do not let them sit forgotten. Put them where you can see them. Place frozen ones in the front of the freezer. Put fresh ones near your breakfast foods. Make the healthy choice visible. If you have to search for the healthy food, you may not eat it. If it is right there, the habit becomes easier. This sounds small, but environment design changes behavior. Men often try to rely on willpower, but willpower is weakest when you are tired. Your environment should support you when motivation disappears. Now, let's talk about family. If you live with others, do not make this habit only yours. Put blueberries on the table. Let your family see you choosing health. You do not need to lecture. You do not need to force anyone. Just model it. Sometimes the strongest influence is quiet consistency. A man who takes care of himself teaches others to do the same. And if you are alone, this habit matters even more. Taking care of yourself when no one is watching is a powerful form of self respect. It says, my health matters even when nobody is applauding. That is real discipline. Now, let's talk about cravings for processed sugar. Blueberries can help, But you need to understand that cravings often become stronger when your body is tired. Poor sleep increases hunger signals. Stress increases comfort eating. Low protein increases hunger. Long gaps without food can lead to overeating. So if you are craving sugar every night, do not only blame willpower. Look at your whole day. Did you eat enough protein? Did you drink water? Did you walk? Did you sleep well? Did you eat too little earlier? Did you work all day without a break? Did you use caffeine to push through exhaustion? Did you give your body any calm? Blueberries can be the better choice in that craving moment, but the deeper solution is to build a day that creates fewer intense cravings. Now, let's talk about the heart again. After 50, the heart deserves daily respect. Two, blueberries support heart-friendly eating because they are rich in plant compounds and can replace less healthy sweets. But your heart also needs movement, blood pressure awareness, healthy weight, less smoking exposure, less processed food, enough sleep, and medical checkups when needed. Do not use food as an excuse to avoid professional care. If you have chest pain, unusual breathlessness, serious fatigue, dizziness, or symptoms that concern you, get medical help. Food is daily support, but it is not emergency care. A wise man uses both prevention and professional guidance. Now, let's talk about the brain and memory. Blueberries are often associated with brain support because of their polyphenols and their role in a healthy dietary pattern. But your brain also needs challenge. Learn new things, read, solve problems, walk, talk with people, sleep, reduce constant stress. The brain loves blood flow and stimulation. A blueberry breakfast followed by a walk and focused work is a brain supporting morning. A sugary breakfast followed by scrolling and sitting is a very different morning. You decide which brain you are building every day. Now let's speak to the man who says, I do not have time. You have time for what is simple. A bowl of blueberries takes less time than standing in line for fast food. A 10-minute walk takes less time than scrolling through your phone. A glass of water takes less time than another coffee. Going to bed earlier may require turning off entertainment, not finding extra hours. Often, time is not the real issue. The real issue is priority. After 50, your health cannot remain last on the list. Because if your health breaks down, everything else becomes harder. Work becomes harder, family becomes harder, travel becomes harder, joy becomes harder, confidence becomes harder. Taking care of your body is not a luxury, it is the foundation that allows you to live your life. Blueberries are one of the easiest ways to start putting your health back on the list. Now, let's talk about consistency in a realistic way. You do not need to eat blueberries every single day without fail for the rest of your life. Life happens. Some days you will miss them. Some days you will travel. Some days your routine will break. That is okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is returning. If you miss one day, come back the next day. If you have one unhealthy meal, make the next meal better. If you stop walking for a week, walk again. Never let one missed habit become a lost identity. This is where many people fail. They make one mistake and then quit completely. A wise man does not quit because of one imperfect day. He returns. Your body does not need perfect. It needs reliable. reliable over months, reliable over years, reliable enough that the overall pattern changes. Now, let's connect blueberries to the bigger anti-inflammatory plate. Think of blueberries as the blue-purple team. Add greens for the green team. Add tomatoes or peppers for the red team. Add carrots or sweet potatoes for the orange team. Add herbs and spices for extra plant compounds. Add beans or lentils for fiber. Add nuts and seeds for healthy fats. Add enough protein for muscle. This is how you build a plate that fights the daily pressure of aging. The more your meals come from real foods, the less room there is for foods that keep the fire burning but do not make it complicated. You do not need gourmet meals, repeatable meals, a few simple meals that you can make again and again. Oats with blueberries, yogurt with blueberries, eggs with vegetables, salad with protein, with beans, grilled fish or chicken with vegetables, lentils with herbs, nuts as a snack, water, walking, sleep. Repeat. Health is mostly repetition of basics. Now, let's talk about your future, because every habit is really a message to your future self. When you choose blueberries instead of processed dessert, your future self receives that gift. When you walk after dinner, your future self receives that gift. When you sleep earlier, your future self receives that gift. True. You may not feel the reward immediately, but it is being stored, just like years of poor habits can build hidden damage. Years of better habits can build hidden strength. This is where hope comes in. You do not have to reverse every mistake from the past. You just have to stop repeating the same ones without awareness. The body is always renewing. Cells are always turning over. Muscles can respond. Blood vessels can adapt. The gut can change. The brain can learn. Your future is not fixed. Blueberries are small, but the decision behind them is big. It says, I am not done improving. That sentence is powerful after 50, because some men quietly give up. They stop believing change is possible. They accept low energy. They accept weight gain. They accept stiffness. They accept brain fog. They accept poor sleep. They call it aging because that feels easier than admitting the body is asking for help. But the body is not asking for perfection. It is asking for attention. Start paying attention. What foods make you feel heavy? What meals give you energy? What time do cravings hit? How do you sleep after late dinners? How do you feel after walking? How does your body respond when you eat blueberries with protein instead of processed breakfast? Your body gives feedback every day. Listen, the most powerful health plan is not only information from outside, it is also awareness from inside. Now, let's talk about the power of morning identity again. When you begin the day with blueberries, water, movement, and protein, you are not just feeding your body. You are telling yourself who you are. You are a man who takes action. You are a man who protects his energy. You are a man who does not wait for a crisis. You are a man who respects the body that carries him through life. That identity can spill into everything. You may choose a better lunch because you started well. You may walk because you feel momentum. You may skip the sugary snack because you do not want to break the promise. You may sleep earlier because you are now thinking like someone who values repair. One habit can pull other habits upward. This is why blueberries are more than food in this script. They are a symbol, a small symbol of a bigger shift, from neglect to attention, from chaos to rhythm, from inflammation to repair, from waiting to acting, from aging passively to aging intelligently. Now, before moving into the final part, let's bring everything together in a practical picture. A man over 50 wakes up, he drinks water, he gets light, he moves, he eats blueberries with protein and fiber, he walks after meals when possible, he sits less, he eats colorful foods, he trains his muscles 2 or 3 times a week, he uses blueberries to replace processed sweets, he keeps dinner lighter, he protects sleep, he manages stress with simple breathing, walking, and slower meals. He stops chasing miracles and starts repeating signals. At first, this looks too simple, but after weeks, it becomes a rhythm. After months, it becomes identity. After years, it becomes the difference between feeling like life is shrinking and feeling like life is still open. That is what healthy aging is really about. Not trying to become 25 again, not fighting the mirror, not pretending time is not moving. Healthy aging is staying strong enough to live fully, clear enough to think deeply, energized enough to enjoy your day, mobile enough to move with confidence, calm enough to sleep, wise enough to choose what helps you instead of what harms you. Blueberries can be one daily part of that. So the next time you hold a handful of blueberries, not see something small. See the beginning of a new pattern. See a food that carries color, fiber, and plant compounds. See a replacement for processed sugar. See support for your gut, your blood vessels, your brain, your metabolism, and your daily fight against unnecessary inflammation. But also see the responsibility around it. Blueberries will do their part. You must do yours. Move the body. Sleep with respect. Eat real food. Drink water. Lower stress. Protect muscle. Stop feeding the fire. Keep returning. And when you do this long enough, the body begins to understand. It begins to receive a new message, not panic, not neglect, not punishment, a message of repair. That is the message you want your body to hear after 50. Because aging is not only something that happens to you, aging is also something you participate in every day. Every meal participates, every walk participates, every night of sleep participates, every stressful habit participates, every healthy routine participates, every bowl of blueberries participates. And tomorrow, when you choose that bowl, you are choosing more than a fruit. Uh, you are choosing a direction. Now we have reached the most important part because information only becomes powerful when it turns into action. You can know that blueberries support your body. You can know they contain deep blue plant compounds. You can know they can be part of an anti inflammatory lifestyle. You can know they may support healthy aging, blood vessels, brain function, gut health, and better daily choices. But if tomorrow morning looks exactly like yesterday morning, nothing changes. The body does not change because you heard something. The body changes because you repeated something. And that is why this final part is not just about blueberries. It is about the kind of man you become when you stop waiting for your health to force you into action. After 50, many men begin to feel that life is moving faster. The years do not feel as long as they used to. You start thinking differently. You think about your energy. You think about your strength. You think about your family. You think about your future. You think about how many years you want to stay active, sharp, independent, and useful. And maybe deep down, there is a quiet fear. Not a fear you talk about often, but a fear that your body may slowly stop listening to you. But here is the truth. Your body is listening right now. It listens when you eat. It listens when you sleep. It listens when you move. It listens when you sit too long. It listens when you stay stressed. It listens when you ignore thirst. It listens when you eat late at night. It listens when you choose real food. It listens when you walk. It listens when you breathe deeply. It listens when you eat blueberries instead of something that keeps the fire burning. Your body is not silent, it is always responding. So the question is not whether your body is listening. The question is, what are you saying to it every day? If every day you say, stress, sugar, sitting, poor sleep, and rushing, then your body responds with heaviness, cravings, stiffness, belly fat, low energy, and inflammation. But if every day you start saying color, fiber, movement, protein, sleep, water, and calm, the body begins receiving a different message. It may not change overnight, but it begins to shift. And that shift is where healthy aging begins. Blueberries are one of the easiest ways to send that new message. They are small enough that you cannot make excuses. You do not need a chef. You do not need a complicated plan. You do not need to understand every scientific term. You do not need to become perfect. You just need to begin. Half a cup, 1 cup, fresh or frozen, in the morning, with yogurt, with oats, in a smoothie, with nuts, as a better dessert, as a replacement for something that was hurting you. Simple, repeatable, real. That is the foundation. But now let's talk about the complete lifestyle, because blueberries work best when the rest of your life stops fighting against them. The first thing is sleep. If you are eating blueberries but sleeping poorly every night, your body is still under pressure. Sleep is not wasted time. Sleep is repair time. It is when the brain clears waste. It is when the immune system resets. It is when muscles repair. It is when hormones regulate. It is when the body lowers the noise from the day and rebuilds itself. If you treat sleep like something optional, inflammation can stay higher, cravings can become stronger, and aging can feel faster. So protect your sleep like you protect your money. Because after 50, sleep is wealth. Start with small changes. Do not eat a heavy meal right before bed. Reduce bright screens late at night. Keep the room cooler and darker. Avoid late caffeine if it affects you. Try to sleep and wake at similar times. Take a slow walk after dinner. Let your body know the day is ending. This does not have to be perfect. It just has to be better than before. And if you want blueberries in the evening, use them wisely. A small bowl with plain yogurt and cinnamon can replace a processed dessert. But do not turn the evening into endless snacking. The goal is to calm the body, not keep feeding it all night. Sleep and digestion need space. Give your body that space. The second thing is movement. Blueberries can support your cells, but movement wakes those cells up. Movement tells your muscles they are still needed. Movement improves circulation. Movement helps your body use energy. Movement can support blood sugar balance. Movement can reduce stiffness. Movement can improve mood. Movement is one of the most powerful anti-aging tools a man has. And you do not need to make it dramatic. Start with walking. 10 minutes after breakfast, 10 minutes after dinner, 10 minutes during a work break. If you can do more, more. But do not disrespect small beginnings. A 10-minute walk repeated daily is stronger than a 1 hour workout you do once and then quit. The body rewards consistency, then add strength training. This is especially important after 50. Muscle is not just for appearance. Muscle is metabolism. Muscle is balance. Muscle is joint protection. Muscle is confidence. Muscle is independence. A man who keeps his muscle keeps more control over his future. You do not need to lift heavy on the first day. Start with safe, controlled movement. Squats to a chair, wall push-ups, resistance bands, light dumbbells, slow step-ups, carrying groceries with good posture. Simple movements done consistently. The goal is not to punish the body. The goal is to remind the body that strength is still part of your identity. After a strength session, blueberries can fit perfectly. Add them to protein. Yogurt with blueberries, a smoothie with blueberries and protein, oats with blueberries and nuts. This is how food and movement work together. Movement creates the need. Food supports the repair. The third thing is protein. After 50, you cannot ignore protein. If you want to keep muscle, recover better, and stay strong, your meals need enough protein. Blueberries are excellent, but they are not a protein food. They need partners, eggs, yogurt, fish, chicken, lentils, beans, tofu, or other protein sources that fit your diet. The combination matters. A bowl of blueberries alone is healthy, but blueberries with protein and fiber become a smarter meal. This helps you stay full. It helps steady energy. It supports muscle. It makes the habit more useful for the body you want to build. The fourth thing is blood sugar rhythm. Many men after 50 feel tired not because they are old, but because their blood sugar is rising and falling all day. A sweet breakfast, a skipped lunch, a sugary snack, a heavy dinner, and a late dessert can create a roller coaster. And when you live on a roller coaster, you start calling the ride normal. But it is not normal to crash every afternoon. It is not normal to feel heavy after every meal is not normal, to crave sweets every night. These can be signs that your daily rhythm needs attention. Blueberries can help because they offer sweetness in a whole food form. But you must use them correctly. Replace processed sweetness. Pair them with protein. Keep portions reasonable. Avoid adding sugar. Avoid turning them into muffins, pastries, or sugary drinks. Use the real berry, not the marketing version of the berry. The fifth thing is your gut. Your gut is not just a digestion tube. It is a living environment. It is connected to immunity, inflammation, metabolism, and mood. If you feed it processed food, low fiber, and too much sugar, it responds. If you feed it fiber, colorful plants, water, and real food, it responds differently. Blueberries bring fiber and polyphenols to that environment, but the gut also needs variety. Add greens, add beans, add lentils, add seeds, add nuts, add herbs, add spices, add vegetables. Think of your gut like a garden. Blueberries are one beautiful plant in that garden, but a strong garden It's just diversity. Now, let's talk about the real enemy after 50. The belief that it is too late. That belief ages men faster than time. When a man believes it is too late, he stops trying. He stops walking. He stops lifting. He stops choosing better meals. He stops caring about sleep. He says, "What is the point?" And that sentence becomes dangerous because there is a point. The point is tomorrow morning. The point is climbing stairs without feeling weak. The point is remembering clearly. The point is playing with your children or grandchildren. The point is traveling without feeling exhausted. The point is standing tall. The point is waking up with energy. Point is reducing the pressure on your heart. The point is keeping your brain sharp. The point is living in your body with respect instead of regret. It is not too late to send your body a better message. Maybe you cannot become 25 again, but that was never the goal. The goal is not to become younger. The goal is to become stronger, clearer, calmer, and more alive at the age you are now. That is real anti-aging. Not pretending time is not moving, but making sure the years ahead are filled with function, energy, and dignity. Blueberries are not about chasing youth. They are about supporting the systems that help you age with strength. Now, let's imagine the next 90 days. For the first 30 days, you focus on one thing. Make blueberries a daily habit. Not perfectly, not obsessively, just consistently. Add them to breakfast. Keep frozen blueberries ready. Replace one processed sweet. Pair them with protein. Learn how your body feels. Do not chase dramatic results. Build the habit. For the next 30 days, you add movement, a walk after meals, strength training 2 or 3 times a week, stretching in the morning, less sitting, more blood flow. Now, blueberries are not just food, they are part of an active lifestyle. For the next 30 days, you protect sleep and reduce the biggest inflammation triggers. Less late night eating, less sugary drinks, less processed snacks, more water, more real food, more calm, more rhythm. By the end of 90 days, you may not be perfect, but you will be different. Different is the beginning of transformation. The most powerful changes are often not dramatic at first. They are quiet. You wake up a little lighter. You feel less desperate for sweets. You notice your digestion is better. You walk without thinking about it. You choose water more naturally. You feel proud of yourself. You start to trust yourself again. That trust is priceless because many men lose trust in themselves. They make promises and break them. They start plans and stop. They say, "I'll begin Monday," and Monday passes. They buy healthy food and let it spoil. They join a gym and stop going. They blame discipline, but the real problem is that the plan was not built for their real life. So build a plan that your real life can hold. Blueberries are easy. Walking is easy. Water is easy. A simple breakfast is easy. Sleeping a little earlier is possible. Strength training can start small. You do not need a perfect life to begin. You need a repeatable system. And every time you repeat it, you rebuild trust. Now, there is something important I want to say. Eating blueberries every day does not mean you will never get sick. It does not mean you can ignore medical checkups. It does not mean you can stop medication if a doctor has prescribed it. It does not mean one food replaces professional care. That is not how health works. Food is not a miracle button. Food is daily communication. If you have a health condition, talk to your healthcare professional. If you take medication, follow proper guidance. If you have symptoms that concern you, do not wait. Use food as prevention and support, not as an excuse to ignore warning signs. A wise man uses every tool: good food, movement, sleep, medical care, stress control, self awareness, consistency. Now, let's talk about how to make blueberries interesting so the habit does not become boring. Some mornings, put them in oats with cinnamon. Let the heat soften them until the oats turn purple. Other mornings, mix them into plain yogurt with walnuts and chia seeds. On workout days, blend them into a smoothie with protein and spinach. In the afternoon, eat them with a handful of nuts. After dinner, use frozen blueberries with plain yogurt as a better dessert. Add cinnamon, add a few seeds. Keep it simple but enjoyable. The goal is not to suffer through health. The goal is to make health taste like something you can live with, because a habit you enjoy is a habit you keep. Now, let's talk about the difference between a healthy man and a perfect man. A perfect man does not exist. A healthy man makes better choices more often. He misses a day and returns. He eats something unhealthy and returns. He skips a walk and returns. He has a bad night of sleep and returns. He does not collapse because life is imperfect. This is one of the biggest lessons after 50. You must learn how to return to blueberries, return to walking, return to water, return to sleep, return to strength, return to real food, return to yourself. One bad meal does not ruin you. One missed workout does not ruin you. One stressful week does not ruin you. But quitting because of one imperfect moment can change everything. Do not quit. Return. Now, let's bring this back to inflammation. Inflammation loses power when your daily life stops feeding it. It loses power when processed sugar goes down. It loses power when sleep improves. It loses power when belly fat starts reducing. It loses power when walking becomes normal. It loses power when muscles become active. It loses power when stress is managed. It loses power when your gut receives fiber and plant compounds. It loses power when blueberries replace junk. You are not fighting inflammation with one food. You are changing the environment in which inflammation lives. That is the deeper lesson. Your body is an environment. Your cells live in the world you create for them. If that world is full of stress, poor sleep, processed food, and inactivity, they struggle. If that world is full of nutrients, movement, rest, hydration, and calm, they function better. Blueberries help make that internal world more protective. Now, think about oxidative stress again. Every day, your body produces energy. Every day, your cells face stress. Every day, your body must repair. Aging accelerates when damage keeps outrunning repair. Healthy aging improves when repair gets more support and damage gets less fuel. Blueberries support the repair side. Sleep supports the repair side. Protein supports the repair side. Walking supports the repair side. Strength training supports the repair side. Water supports the repair side. A calmer mind supports the repair side. This is not complicated. It is a daily vote. And the man you become after 50 is built by those votes. Now let's speak to the man watching this who feels tired of starting over. Maybe you have tried to lose weight. Maybe you have tried to eat better. Maybe you have started and stopped so many times that you are embarrassed to try again. Listen carefully. You are not starting over from zero. You are starting from experience. You now know what does not work for you. You know extreme plans do not last. You know guilt does not last. You know waiting for motivation does not last. So this time, do it differently. Start small enough that you can continue. A bowl of blueberries is small. A 10-minute walk is small. A glass of water is small. Going to bed 15 minutes earlier is small. Preparing breakfast the night before is small. But small done daily becomes large. This is how men rebuild themselves, not with loud promises, with quiet consistency. Now, imagine a man who eats blueberries every morning for 1 year. That is not just 365 servings of fruit. That is 365 reminders that he chose repair. 365 mornings where he started with color. 365 opportunities to pair them with protein. 365 moments where he was less likely to reach for processed sweetness. 365 votes for his future. Now imagine he also walked most days, lifted weights twice a week, slept better, reduced late night snacking, drank more water, ate more real food. What happens after a year is not magic. It is biology responding to repetition. This is why consistency is more powerful than intensity. Intensity impresses people. Consistency changes people. Now, let's talk about the emotional reward. At first, you may start eating blueberries because you want less inflammation or better aging. But eventually, the reward becomes deeper. You begin to feel like a man who takes care of himself. You begin to respect your own follow through. You begin to feel that your future is not completely out of your hands. That feeling is powerful because health is not only physical, health is also confidence. When you keep promises to yourself, confidence grows. When confidence grows, you take more action. When you take more action, your body changes. When your body changes, your confidence grows again. This becomes a positive cycle. Blueberries can be the first promise, not the only promise, the first. Now, let's talk about what happens when life gets difficult, because it will. There will be busy days, there will be stressful weeks, there will be meals you cannot control, there will be travel, there will be family events, there will be nights when sleep is not perfect, there will be days when you do not walk. This is normal. The key is to create anchor habits. Blueberries can be an anchor. Water can be an anchor. Walking can be an anchor. A protein breakfast can be an anchor. These habits keep you connected to your health even when life is messy. On a difficult day, maybe you do not do everything, but you can still eat blueberries. You can still drink water. You can still walk for 5 minutes. You can still choose one better meal. That is how you prevent one difficult day from becoming a difficult month. After 50, health is not about never falling off. It is about getting back on faster. Now, let's talk about the bigger plate again. Blueberries are powerful, but do not let your diet depend on one color. Eat the rainbow. Deep greens for minerals and plant compounds. Red foods like tomatoes and peppers. Orange foods like carrots and sweet potatoes. Purple foods like blueberries and cabbage. White foods like garlic and onions. Herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and parsley. Each color brings different signals. Aging well is not about eating less life. It is about eating more real life from nature, more color, more fiber, more, more plants, more protein, more water, more movement, more rest, less fake food, less rushing, less late night damage, less sitting, less constant stress. This is the direction. Now, let's talk about morning cravings. Some men wake up not hungry, drink coffee, and then get cravings later. Others wake up hungry and reach for bread, sweets, or fried foods. The solution depends on the person, but a balanced blueberry breakfast can help many men create a better start. Protein keeps you full. Fiber slows digestion. Healthy fats provide satisfaction. Blueberries bring sweetness, and plant compounds trade for 2 weeks. Not as a miracle challenge, but as an experiment. See how your body responds when breakfast becomes steady instead of chaotic. Track your energy, track your cravings, track your digestion, track your mood. Your body will teach you. Now, let's talk about the man who does not like blueberries. If you truly do not enjoy them, do not force them forever. You can rotate with other berries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, cherries, and other colorful fruits can also be part of a healthy pattern. But give blueberries a real chance. Try them fresh, try them frozen, try them in oats, try them in yogurt, try them with cinnamon. Sometimes people do not dislike healthy food. They dislike boring preparation. Make the habit enjoyable. Now, let's talk about money. Some people think eating healthy is too expensive, and sometimes fresh berries can be expensive depending on where you live. This is why frozen blueberries are so useful. They last longer, you waste less, you can portion them, you can buy when available. And remember, healthy eating is not about expensive luxury foods. It is about smart basics: oats, beans, lentils, eggs, yogurt, vegetables, frozen berries, nuts in reasonable portions, water, walking. Many powerful habits are not fancy. Do not let the perfect, expensive plan stop you from starting a simple, affordable one. Now, let's talk about discipline. Discipline after 50 should not feel like punishment. It should feel like protection. You are not denying yourself. You are protecting your heart, evolve and true. You are protecting your brain. You are protecting your joints. You are protecting your energy. You are protecting your independence. You are protecting the years ahead. When you look at it that way, blueberries are not restriction. They are protection. Walking is not punishment. It is protection. Sleep is not laziness. It is protection. Strength training is not ego. It is protection. Better food is not sacrifice. It is protection. And a man who understands protection becomes more consistent. Now, let's bring in the idea of inflammation as a signal. Inflammation is not your enemy by itself. It is your body trying to protect you. But when it stays high too long, it becomes a problem. So instead of hating your body, ask why it feels threatened. Is it poor sleep, too much sugar, too much stress, too much sitting, too little recovery, too much processed food, too much belly fat, too little fiber? Your body may not need punishment. It may need reassurance. Blueberries reassure the body with real nutrients. Walking reassures the body with circulation. Sleep reassures the body with repair. Calm breathing reassures the nervous system. Protein reassures the muscles. Water reassures digestion and blood flow. This is how you create safety inside the body. And when the body feels safer, the fire can begin to calm. Now, let's talk about identity one final time. Do not say, I am trying to be healthy. Say, I am a man who takes care of his body. That identity is stronger. A man who takes care of his body does not need perfect motivation. He acts because that is who he is. He eats blueberries because that is part of his routine. He walks because movement is part of his life. He sleeps because recovery matters. He lifts because strength matters. He gets checkups because prevention matters. He returns after mistakes because self-respect matters. Your identity leads your actions. So build an identity that supports your future. Now, picture tomorrow morning clearly. You walk into the kitchen. You take out the blueberries. Maybe they are fresh. Maybe they are frozen. You add them to your bowl. You do not rush. You do not treat it like a tiny, meaningless snack. You understand what it represents. It represents a different direction, a new message, a choice to reduce the fuel that feeds inflammation, a choice to support your blood vessels, your gut, your brain, your muscles, and your future. Then you eat, you breathe, you drink water, you move, and you begin the day as a man who has already kept one promise. That is how change begins. Not with a dramatic announcement, not with a perfect plan, not with waiting for Monday, not with shame, not with fear, with one promise kept. Now, let's close this with the truth. Blueberries will not make you immortal. They will not erase every mistake. They will not replace your doctor. They will not fix a lifestyle that continues to damage the body every day. But they can become one of the simplest daily foods to help support an anti-inflammatory, healthy aging lifestyle. And sometimes the simplest things are the ones that finally work because you can actually repeat them. Eat them every day if they fit your health needs. Pair them wisely. Use them to replace processed sweets. Keep them close to nature. Build your routine around them. Add movement, add sleep, add strength, add water, add calm, add real food. Reduce the things that keep the fire burning. And remember, the goal is not to chase youth. The goal is to protect life, to protect your mornings, to protect your energy, to protect your mind, to protect your heart, to protect your strength, protect your ability to walk, think, work, laugh, travel, help, love, and live with confidence. That is what healthy aging is really about. So when someone asks, can one food stop inflammation and reverse aging? The honest answer is this. One food can become the beginning of a new pattern. And a new pattern, repeated every day, can change the direction of your health. Blueberries are small, but the decision behind them is not small. It is the decision to stop ignoring the whispers of your body. It is the decision to stop feeding the fire. It is the decision to stop waiting for a health scare before you care. It is the decision to become the kind of man who protects his future before it becomes fragile. So start tomorrow. Start with one bowl. Start with one walk. Start with one better night of sleep. Start with one real breakfast. Start with one promise and then repeat. Because the man you will be 5 years from now is listening to what you do today. If this message helped you, share it with someone over 50 who needs a simple place to begin. And before you leave, remember this. Um, Aging is not only measured by the years you have lived, it is shaped by the signals you give your body every single day. So give your body the signal of repair, give it color, give it movement, give it rest, give it strength, give it blueberries, and let today be the day you stop waiting and start rebuilding.